Don't everyone volunteer at once.
I'm trying to remember what happened last week.
That's what notes are for. Do you guys not take notes?
Nope, never.
Yes.
Okay,
Says
so last
unconvincingly.
week we killed a bunch of marrow, and we found a note that said that they had their shipping schedule on it, right? And we went back to town. And Balaam and Zuko went to see the fortune teller.
Yeah.
I don't know what else happened.
It was the marrow fight. We got back to town. We played with Geraldine for a little bit. Balaam and Zuko went to the carnival and talked to a bunch of people, and that's where we left off.
Yeah, that.
Okay. So let's start with Yvelda's talk with Ren's mom, since you said you wanted to do that.
Oh, we're starting that first?
Yeah. So
the hell does she want to talk to my mother about?
So
that's between her and your mother.
After Balaam and Zuko left and you guys finish up dinner, Ren takes Geraldine to bed and starts telling her a story. And Yvelda, you are with Ren's mom.
What is she doing?
Cleaning up.
Okay.
Putting away dishes and stuff.
So I kind of pick up one dish at a time or whatever, like I'm doing something. And so your husband.
Yes. What about him?
He's
Someone's breathing into their microphone.
I was gonna say that someone's breathing very heavily.
It might have been me. My microphone tipped up a little bit.
Anyway. Continue.
kind of a dick, isn't he?
He can be rough around the edges, yes.
But I mean, he's basically a screw up, right?
He didn't used to be.
I mean, you still like him?
I mean, I still love him. I have a hard time liking him most days.
How can you love someone and not like them?
Have you had a lot of family? Or did you have a small family?
Just my dad, but he died when I was 8, so no.
Well, family is an odd thing. Especially when you're related by blood. You kind of don't have much of a choice in loving somebody. I fell in love with Ren's father. Oh God, how old was it? 18, 19? And, you know, we both were just sort of in a whirlwind. And I don't know if I'll ever stop loving him, even though he makes things difficult, even though he's made mistakes. But and she looks around, make sure Geraldine's not peeking and listening. He pisses me off quite a lot. But it's just something that you deal with. When you love somebody, you put up with their faults, even when they make you angry.
Yeah, but what if he hurts you?
Well, I don't believe he'd ever do that, but if he did, he would regret it.
He would regret it, or you'd make sure he regretted it?
He would regret it. I've got friends that look out for me, and they have friends that owe them favors, so he definitely would have ended up in the prison, if nothing else. But I'm not afraid of
Still loves
standing up
him.
for myself. I just...
Yeah, but if he had hurt you, would you still love him?
It's a hard question to answer. I don't think I could answer that unless it happened.
Do you think he could earn your forgiveness?
I certainly hope so. It would be difficult. Just like this is difficult. But if he wanted to bad enough, yes, I think he could.
What would it take to earn that kind of forgiveness?
Well, I think it would depend on what actually happened, but there would have to be some real changes made. It would take a long time to prove that he had changed, and this is going to take a long time to prove he's changed. I don't know if the trust will ever be where it was, but it can reach a point that he can come back and live with us if he keeps at this.
I didn't realize how complicated things could get.
Love always makes things complicated.
Doesn't even really seem worth it, does it?
It does. Real love makes almost anything worth it.
How do you know?
I think it's different for everybody. And I knew when there was one night that we went out for a walk down by the docks, which isn't exactly a safe place, but, you know, neither of us were pushovers, and if nothing else, a woman suddenly sprouting wings, that's enough to scare most men off. So we were safe enough, and so we went down to this one pier and stood on the end and just watched the stars for a long time. And then I looked over and I just realized I wanted to always have him at my side.
That's extremely sappy.
Yes, I suppose it is.
I'll let you get on with things, I guess. I hand her the one plate I've been holding all this time.
She takes it and gets back to work.
That's it. She's done. Yvelda's done.
So right about that time, Ren comes back out from telling the story. Geraldine almost refusing to go to sleep, but you got her to agree to lay down. Had to bribe her with the silver.
I don't recall ever saying that.
No, but she wouldn't lay down unless you paid.
Oh
She's
my
becoming a
God.
pirate.
No more time with Jared for her.
Good luck. She's got gold in the backyard. Of course, she's money focused right now.
They changed stuff on the character sheet that just threw me off. They actually got symbols next to the gold and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna have to take a look.
Yeah.
Anyway, so you come back out. Your mom's doing dishes. Ivelda's stepped away.
I noticed any awkwardness or whatnot?
No, it just looked like they had been having a talk and they just finished.
Right, so
Zelda looks uncomfortable, if that makes a difference.
she's lying down but refusing to go to sleep.
She'll fall asleep soon enough. She's had a long day.
Right. So, can I give you a hand with anything?
Well, if you don't mind finishing the dishes, and she hands you the towel and steps away.
Yes, mother. And I just get to the dishes.
Okay. Then let's go. If you guys have nothing else at the house, let's go to Balaam at the circus.
Cool. So that's, if I remember correctly.
Mm-hmm.
There we go. I had sent the triplets off to go grab some a barrel of ale and a side of beef.
Mm-hmm.
So,
And you gave them 2 platinum. Their eyes had never gone so wide. So they're going to be gone for like 15, 20 minutes. Did you want to do anything specific while you're waiting, or save the chit chat for when it arrives?
No. Basically, I'm just going to sit and listen for a while and see what topics are brought up. Mostly, I was here to let Suko do his thing.
Yeah.
And of course, visiting family is always nice, but I didn't have any objectives in mind.
Oh, by the way, guys, the hero points, essentially, I'm going to give everyone 1 point to start with. And then I'm going to make a handout in a minute of the things you can spend it on.
Cool.
Already.
So,
Hero points?
yeah.
That's essentially tokens.
I'm going to still take tallies for good RP and thinking outside the box and stuff, and these are points that you can spend for getting advantage and rolling extra dice and stuff like that. So that's essentially the idea behind it, excuse me, is so that when the story is focused on you, you have these to make it awesome and make sure that you're not like just rolling really shitty the whole time.
Updated sheet sucks.
It's amazing. It looks like an actual character sheet.
I can't read anything on it that I've written. There are like boxes in the middle of what I've written.
Weird.
That's just your sheet then.
Okay, so, Balaam, I want you to roll an insight check real quick.
Okay.
Not bad. Okay, so, you just listening and watching. Flint, the Wolfman, seems like he comes across not quite bully, but like he doesn't quite get along with everyone the same. He doesn't fit the family mold as much. And he keeps hanging around with these 3 wolves that he has in a cage in the corner. And let me see. The acrobats all tend to be sticking together in one corner, and you see Raish sitting at the edge of their bunch, just watching and listening as well. You notice Astra is sitting apart from everybody, eating quietly. And
I believe she's with Suko at the moment.
yeah, if this was going to be them, then yeah, she would have come back after like 5 minutes because it didn't take long. 5 minutes. And she just sits apart, eats quietly. And Norfarin and Finn, the 2 that take care of the animals, are before they're not even eating yet. They're just making sure all the animals are cared for first. And so about 20 minutes go by. No real important topics, just like normal ribbing on each other and stuff like that. The triplets come back with some men behind. They're like marching in proudly. And these men are bringing this large cask of ale and a couple sides of beef. And Thasira and Raisk, the two cooks, eagerly take it and start working their magic, adding it to a stew for everybody. And everybody is now, their moods are much improved. And
Fair.
they start
Can't
pouring out the ale and cheering.
Can't have a circus on an empty stomach.
No, we can't. Thank you, Balaam.
Well, I'm happy to share with my family. And at that point, I think I'll go talk to Flint.
Okay.
Seems little out of sorts. Not. Yeah, I'm gonna go talk to him for a bit.
Okay. So you walk over to the corner where he's hanging out with the cage, essentially talking to his wolves, and
I'm
they
gonna
seem
bring him
pretty,
a bowl of stew.
Okay, they seem pretty domesticated, but at your approach, they growl a little bit, and he turns and just eyes you up and down for a long moment. You're the twerp that used to run with the circus, right?
The one and only, yes.
Thinking of joining back up, or
No, unfortunately, I have received a higher calling, and I'll show the symbol of the Raven Queen. It is not nearly as fun, but it is necessary.
no? I've never been much for that religion crap myself.
Well, to be honest, up until a couple years ago, I wasn't either.
Well, can I help you with something?
I was just admiring the wolves. I haven't seen very many of them outside of the ones trying to kill me. Wandering the woods. It's dangerous out there. But these ones seem different.
Well, they're mine. I raised them.
From pups?
Yeah.
Oh. Where'd you pick them up at?
The woods. To the north. I used to live there for a little while.
Yeah. What made you want to bring them as part of the circus?
I'm not going to leave them in the woods.
Well, yes, but I suppose you could have stayed there unless you decided to join the circus just for coin.
Yeah. The farmers didn't like me and the wolves around.
Oh, I suppose they would get a little skittish around cattle.
Yeah. They tried to drive me off, so I figured might as well go, or at least I'm somewhat protected.
Well, these are good folks. If you treat them right, they'll treat you right. Oh.
I guess.
So are your wolves fully domesticated, or are they just trained?
Trained.
Ah, I see.
They follow my command. I'm the alpha.
I see. Interesting. How long did it take you to get that way?
It's a lot easier when they're pups. So not long.
Ah. Well, I will leave you to your evening, and I will go back and kind of wander about the circus and kind of catch up with everybody, that kind of thing, but then we'll rotate camera back around to somebody else.
Well, as you're walking away, you see Nibbles dragging in 2 boars into the tent and just looking for you.
Halo,
Yes?
I brought food.
I see that. Where'd you get those at?
Store.
Ah.
Did he bring those to the circus?
Mm-hmm.
Wasn't I with you?
If you want to be, yeah. I would have headed over there.
Well, yeah, because you came to the ship. That's how I knew
yeah.
that everyone was at the circus. I don't
Well,
remember you saying we stopped to get bored.
Everyone was at the house, and
Yeah.
they ate at the house, and then Balaam and Suko went to the circus after.
Yeah,
Right.
he had come to the boat. What are you doing here? Everyone was going to the circus.
Mhm.
Well,
I don't remember him saying we were stopping to pick up those boars. Okay.
did you want to join us for second dinner?
I'm not gonna say no.
I didn't think you would. I would actually be very concerned if you did.
Yeah.
Second dinner.
This is third dinner, but yes.
I was gonna say I didn't realize the circus were a bunch of hobbits.
When food's available, yeah.
So, Race, because the lizard folk cook, she comes over, noticing the boar, and she just, like, looks at them, looks at Nibbles, takes one of the boar, not even saying anything, just drags it back, and starts cutting it up.
I'm gonna go drop the other one there.
Okay.
Look at
And
Balaam. She's cooking it.
Yes, I know.
Oh,
If you would like some uncooked, I'm sure she would give you a cut.
No, it's fine, but she's cooking it. She's like
Yes.
me. She's cooking. I don't
Yes.
know. Ooh, horses! And I'm right over there.
You do notice that she cuts off a big chunk of the flank and sets it aside and is cooking everything else.
Okay, I feel better. Ponies.
That might be for her.
Probably is. And we'll party with the circus for the evening.
All right. So, let's see what else. Okay, so when are you guys going to deal with the barrels and crates?
Next morning.
Next morning? Okay.
Yeah, we were saying we were gonna do it in the morning.
Okay, so you guys spend the evening with the circus, and it is a rowdy bunch when they are enjoying each other's company and guests, and especially with extra food. So there's like an impromptu drinking contest, and everyone's showing off for the guests, and they offer for you guys to come see the show the next night. And are you guys crashing at the circus, or are you guys heading back to the house?
I would probably crash at the circus.
Yeah, I'll stay here.
Did Avani leave the room? Okay. So, half the circus actually makes it back to their tents and carts. The other half just kind of all pass out around the fire.
I'm gonna find the warmest person. Just lie on them.
That is probably going to be either the Fire Ganassi, the Dragonborn cook, who is bronze scaled, or Mogan, the Goliath.
Goliath.
Hard choices. Let's go
The
with the
war-
Scalies. Yeah.
Okay. So, you go over to where the cooks have bunked up, and they're just kind of hanging out right by the fire, and you just kind of sidle up,
Yep.
curl up with them.
Bring out Mr. Blinky.
Yeah. And before you fall asleep, you notice the other lizard folk is like looking at you for a moment, confused. Doesn't say anything. Rolls over.
You'll look for any reason to pull out Mr. Blinky.
Every time I go to sleep.
I still can't believe you stole him.
I didn't steal, I traded.
Without their
stole
consent.
You
That's
stole
trading.
him from a bunch of freaking vampire
No,
children.
it was trading. It was fine.
That's called aggressive trading.
Yeah.
Yep.
Anyway. So. Let me type this up. And I will get to the next scene.
Which is the last scene from last week.
Mm.
So I guess once morning hits, I'm going to go
Well,
ask around.
first, Nibbles.
Hmm.
You wake up
Okay. That's good.
in a cell.
Huh?
Huh?
You are sore. Okay. Keep all comments to the chat if you're not in the scene. So you wake up, you are sore, you feel exhausted, and you are not where you fell asleep. You look around, you are in a cell
Mr. Blinky
in
failed.
what seems to be, and Mr. Blinky isn't even there.
Slacker.
And you look out through the bars, and there is a woman sitting, staring at you, not moving, sword at her side. And as you wipe the sleep from your eyes and your vision focuses, you look at her more closely. She's a human,
Mhm.
late 20s, has leather armor on that's a deep crimson. One pauldron, the right pauldron, is black, and she's got chestnut hair. I'm missing my page. Oh no, there it is. Chestnut hair, hazel eyes, and a scar along one jaw, two smaller scars above her right eye. This is Autumn. You've met her once before, briefly.
Autumn?
And she's just staring at you, and then says, "Was this your first time?"
What?
How much do you remember?
Mr. Blinky failed at his watching job. That's all I remember. And I ate a lot.
Yeah, you almost ate more.
Huh?
You almost ripped a man's arm off trying to get at a string of seagulls. You're lucky that I was closer than the guards.
Sounds about right.
Luckily, I paid off the vendor, so he's not going to try to put you in jail or anything. I expect to be paid back.
I don't get it.
Turn around for me, would you?
Okay, I'm gonna keep turning.
Stop so I can see your back.
Oh, okay.
And she goes over and she traces a symbol on your back of your shoulder. And I have a picture for this. Hang on. If I can find it. So she traces a symbol on the back of your shoulder, and then she just pokes you real hard right there. Did you know you had that?
I don't. Does anyone see their back? I can't see that.
So no one's told you about this thing?
Nope.
Okay.
Are you talking about my scales?
It's a mark.
Who's Mark?
Not a who. It's a curse.
Oh, ooh. Something I ate.
Wouldn't be surprised.
That's fair.
I heard Balaam was in town. Where are you guys staying?
We have a house and a pond and ships.
Okay. Where in town? Nearby?
By the big tents.
Okay. Reach your arm through the bars, please.
Okay.
Okay, so you do that, and she claps a bracer, a metal band on your arm, and then does kind of that warrior grip on your arm, and where it sits, she's got a matching one on her arm.
Okay.
And they both start glowing, and it is painful.
Ow.
Not enough to do any points of damage, but it hurts. And it recedes after a moment, and she's like, if you go more than 10 feet away from me while that thing is on you, and you can't take it off, by the way, only I can.
Okay.
You're going to be waking up sore. And she
Okay.
just gives you a long look for a moment, and then unlocks the cage, lets you out. Come on.
There we go.
And we're going to Balaam.
Oh, come here. I'm gonna try to pick her up. I'll bring you there.
She, you reach for her, and she pulls her sword out.
That's not how you play this game.
Game.
Yeah, I'm fast.
Let's go a normal pace, shall we?
It's so boring. Fine.
Yeah. Well, after seeing last night, I don't think I want you running around with me on your back.
By the way, did you see a little eye creature with little tiny eyes and it was soft and warm?
No.
Dang it.
Probably back where you had fallen asleep.
Oh, okay. So the tents. Can we stop there first?
If that's where Balaam is, that's where we're going.
Okay.
Okay, so Balaam, you wake up, and everyone is stirring and starting to clean up and getting things ready for the day. And you look over to where Nibbles had been laying, and he's not there. Mr. Blinky is, but he's not.
All right, I'll go pick up Mr. Blinky. That's not good.
And Marilyn comes over. What's wrong?
Oh, well, I found this. This without Nibbles is not good, because Nibbles doesn't leave this. Did anybody happen to see him leave last night?
I'll find out. And she goes around and starts asking.
And I'm going to look around where he was sleeping and see if I can find tracks.
Let's see, your passive perception. Yeah, that's high enough. You usually track. You see more like claw marks. Like where he was laying, there's claw marks around it. Like something got up and was racing away.
Interesting.
Yeah. And about 10 minutes later, the tent opens and Autumn and Nibble walk in.
Balaam, I got in trouble.
I look from Nibbles to Autumn, and then back to Nibbles. Yeah, you are.
I don't know what I did. Mr. Blinky failed at watching.
And I'll hand him back, Mr. Blinky.
Put him in my backpack for timeout.
Time out.
Better luck next time. Autumn, it is very good to see you, but it's not good to see you because you're here with him and I'm not visiting you. There's something wrong.
Yeah. Is there somewhere we can talk privately?
I'm sure we can find a spot, and I'll ask Marilyn for a place away from eavesdroppers, including the triplets.
Okay. So
Specifically the triplets.
she pointedly gets Devin and Carlo to wrangle the triplets and keep them busy elsewhere. And she shows you to the tent that is normally for the sideshows. It's decent size. It's like 30 feet across-ish. So
Okay.
roomy. So while you're in there, she just kind of crosses her arms for a minute. He's a lycanthrope. Did you know that?
I'm a what now?
I know what they are, but I didn't know he was one. When did this happen?
I didn't do it.
I don't know when it happened, but he's got a curse mark. This isn't a normal lycanthropy kind of situation. He wasn't bit from what I can tell. But
I mean, he's usually the one to do the biting. Does this mean we're going to have a bunch of lycanthropes around?
Oh shit.
this is like I said, this isn't normal lycanthropy. This is a curse. It could be something he inherited, could be something that was placed on him. I'm not sure, but it's not as strong. I'm pretty sure he's not going to be turning anybody from what I can tell.
Well, at least there's that. Can I take a look at the symbol and see if I've got any knowledge of it through either arcane or religious means?
Pick one and roll it.
I'll tell you what, I'm going to roll my portents for the day and see what that is first. Yeah, we're going to do guidance, and we're going to use that 15, and plus arcana is plus, so 7. So yeah, that would be a 23.
Okay. So from what you can tell, this is something that isn't necessarily like genetically inherited, but it is something that someone is born with. It's very rare, very obscure, but it is something that has been among some of the more tribal races before. And it is almost never welcome among them.
Interesting. Surprised I didn't notice this before. Nibbles, I know I found you wanting to find new foods and explore the world through food.
Yes.
But is there perhaps another reason why you left your home?
Oh yeah, they told me not to come back.
They just kicked you out and told you never to come back?
Yep.
They didn't tell you why?
No. They told me there was good food. I went to go find food.
I see.
Joey!
Where is your village?
Turn on the TV.
It's not far. It's in a swamp.
We may have to go inquire, because I am very curious about this curse mark.
But they told me not to come back.
Yes, well, they told you not to come back. They said nothing about bringing guests.
And that's why you have brains. You said big words.
Yes. So, I think we may have to inquire. Autumn, I realize that you are cautious of him because of this, but do you think you might be able to remove the wristband so that we can...
In a minute. First of all, since he had lost control, from what I can tell, it was his first time to lose control last night. So
He's never
he shouldn't.
Before.
Yeah, he shouldn't be too much of a threat. But just in case this happens again, there is a alchemist in town that he calls it Moonless Potion. It's specifically for lycanthropes so that they don't lose control during the full moon. It's not cheap, and it's 30 gold for one night's use, but you drink it every night of a full moon or every day of a full moon, and you're not going to lose control that night. I suggest stocking up. It's down the briny vial. Ask for Amaruk.
Since I am trained in, wait, do I have? Yeah, herbalism kit. Could I possibly reproduce this potion?
If you get the recipe.
Okay. Might just have to do that instead. That way we can make it in the field.
Yeah.
Well, I guess we have our work cut out for us, Nibbles.
Freedom? Field trip?
Field trip.
Field trip.
And she takes the bracelet off.
Do I still have all my bags on me and everything? My little pouches?
Do you keep your bags on when you sleep, or do you set them aside?
No, I would keep them on the side.
They would have been with Mr. Blinky then, and I would have handed them back.
Yeah.
Alright. Autumn, you said that you paid people. What did you pay people?
It was 60 gold to shut him up.
Alright. I'm gonna start counting. 1, 2, it's a different color. 2.
If he wants to have more permanent control, I know a few people. I can put him in touch with them.
17.
I think that would be best, because I don't think there's any way to get rid of this at this current time.
Probably not.
So we'll deal with it. We'll manage it.
30.
I think that's part of the reason why the Raven Queen sent me with Nibbles, is to prevent this.
45.
So we'll see what happens.
Yeah. Start with this. I have, for emergencies, 1 vial of Moonless Potion, just in case. And she hands it over.
No, you keep it. I will buy my own.
60.
With your line of duty, you're going to need it at some point.
I can go down and get more. I get the feeling you guys are going to go running off.
No, we're heading to the Alchemist first. But
Okay.
from there, we will go find your contacts.
Okay.
Who do I need to speak with?
At the Briny Vial or my contacts? Because
Your
you're
contacts.
going to need me for that.
I see.
Yeah.
Um,
They don't talk to outsiders very often.
well, I have a feeling they'll be welcoming a new member if they are like Nibbles.
Not all of them. It's more rare for this sort, but it's who I work for, technically.
I see. Well, we'll hit up the Alchemist if you could hit up your contacts, and we can meet at the Eye of the Storm.
All right. Sounds good.
Also, quick question. I heard you have a new mission ahead of you.
Yeah.
Where are you off to?
Malarcine. There's a keep up along one of the ridges. Supposed to be vampires. We'll find out.
Are you going on your own?
It's just recon.
Oh, that is, it can quickly turn into combat, so do be careful.
Oh, I know. And she absently touches the scar on her jaw. This isn't my first mission, Bela. I
know.
appreciate it, but this is kind of my job.
Yes, I know, but I still always worry. It's what I do.
Yeah, you're better at it than most people I know.
So, we'll head to the Alchemist, and we'll meet you at the Eye of the Storm.
All right.
Alright.
Hour, 2 hours?
I had her 59 gold and 1 copper because I couldn't tell the color difference.
She just kind of looks at it for a moment. Close enough, and pockets it.
I hand over 9 copper more. Or no, not 99 copper. I just give her a gold. Fuck it.
Okay. And she waves it off. And 1 gold isn't a big deal.
I did it.
Okay. So, I will meet you there in an hour.
All right.
Do we have to walk normal?
Well, you have the ring, don't you?
Yeah, but she wanted to walk normal.
Oh, I see.
I didn't trust him to go running off with me on his back.
Well, before we go running off, I would like the bracelet removed because that looks.
All right, she already took it off.
Okay.
Yeah.
In that case,
that was just to keep him from going too far.
I
It knocks
understand.
him out if he moves more than 10 feet. Very useful for captives.
I imagine it would be. Hopefully, it is no longer going to be required for Nibbles, as I would really hate to have to subject him to that.
I trust that you're gonna be able to keep enough of a leash on him if something happens.
We'll deal with whatever comes. But at that point, Nibbles, you've got the ring.
Yep.
Disc, please.
Okay, I'm gonna pop out the disc and just wait for him to get on and then run.
Hi ho, Nibbles! Away!
So, Avani, were you sleeping at the circus or did you go back to the house?
I stayed at the circus.
Okay, so you had woke up with Nibbles gone and got to see him escorted back in.
And you see us go zooming out of the tent.
Yep.
Really, I own Nibbles away.
Yep.
Of course.
So, Yavelda and Ren, you guys are at the house. Are you doing anything in the morning?
Breakfast?
I would probably have breakfast and probably head out to the ship.
Okay.
Breakfast and then try and meet up with the others at the circus.
Okay, so you would probably be getting within sight as you see Nibbles and Balaam go zooming out of one of the tents.
What in the fucking hell? Where are you motherfuckers off to?
They're already gone. Nibbles goes like 100 miles an hour.
God damn it!
It's like the Doppler effect. It's like, oh!
Yeah. So you're able to go back behind the tents and find Avani at least.
And Suko.
Oh yeah, and Tsuko. Yeah, because he would have probably passed out there too.
Right. Avani,
Yes.
do you have any idea what the fuck's going on with these two?
I have no idea. I woke up, Nibbles was missing, and then I guess he was brought back by a guard, maybe? And then
Is
they
the guard
ran
still
away.
here? Is the guard still here?
I don't know, did I see that lady leave?
She left not too long after they zoomed out.
She just left.
Did I see her?
You probably would have seen her leaving as you headed in to talk to Avani.
But I don't know if you would have known to have stopped to talk to her.
No, but if I had seen her, I'd see her face and know who to look for to talk to, because I'm sure she's not going 150 miles an hour.
That's true.
Her armor was more distinctive than what most of the guard you've seen would be. It didn't look like a city uniform.
Gotcha. So I'm going to look for her, see what she knows of the situation. Maybe even meet up with those other two assholes. You care to join me?
Sure.
Shall we bring the small one?
I was gonna say, what is Suko doing?
Trying to decide if he got drunk or not. Yeah, he's nursing a hangover.
So probably not going to be coming with us.
Yeah. He's like, I'm just gonna go rest at the house for a bit. Let me know when you guys go do something. And he wanders off.
Okay. Right, let's be on our way. And I go looking for the woman.
Okay. Go ahead and roll an investigation.
You said investigation?
Mm-hmm.
21.
21. Okay. So knowing which direction she was heading and knowing what the armor looks like, you're able to find her within a few minutes among the crowd. She is she like zigzags down the streets a little bit, and it looks like she's heading towards this large stone building that is pretty much the same shade of red as her armor.
Okay.
But you're able to catch up before she gets into the building. And we'll get back to that in a minute. Balaam and Nibbles, you guys find the briny vial from the instructions that Autumn gave you. And there is a halfling behind the counter that's just, welcome to the briny vial. What can I do for you?
Amarok, yes?
No, hang on. And he goes into the back, and this human man steps out. He's got long black hair, kind of the warrior braid back. And he looks you over. I'm Amarok Silvereye. What can I do for you?
Autumn sent me here with a special request for a specific potion.
Moonless.
Yes.
How many do you need?
Well, I would like to actually make a request for at least one for now, but if I could perhaps get the formula for being able to make more. My friend and I here travel quite frequently, and we do not have the means to be able to stock and store potions long term. So being able to make it myself for him would be much better in the long run.
Roll
Yeah,
persuasion.
I'm cursed.
Just right out and said it.
This is gonna go terrible. Oh, that wasn't meant to be directly to you, but
It's like, this is my livelihood.
I understand, and I would not want to impugn about it, but I'm in a tight spot here. I cannot keep coming back for the potion, and I'm not looking to make these to sell. I'm not going to infringe upon your livelihood. I am dealing with a terminally cursed individual, and I'm going to turn Nibbles around and show him the mark.
I'm going to show him the wrong shoulder. Right here.
And
And I like move Nibbles' hand over.
Right here.
And he takes a good long look at it. That's new.
Oh, great.
What sort of lycanthropy is this? Is a wolf, tiger?
I don't know. I was not present for the transformation. Autumn would have more details, since she was the one who brought him in. However, my goal is strictly to prevent transformation and harm. I can buy a couple, but I'm not going to be able to continue to return here for more, and I don't know of any other sources.
All right. Well, some of the ingredients are hard to come by. Or tricky to come by. Tell you what. You buy from me enough supplies for, say, a dozen doses. And I'll give you the recipe. You gotta swear on your life you're not gonna share it with anybody or use it for your own profit.
Of course not. That is not at all my intent. How much for the supplies?
Let's see. Hang on, calculator. My brain is too fried for math at the moment. For a dozen vials, 180 gold.
I got it.
That. Are you sure, Nibbles?
Yeah.
Okay,
I don't use the shiny stuff or anything else.
fair enough.
He doesn't use shiny rounds.
And
Shiny
I will just look over at Nibbles' shoulder and be like, "Yep, that one. Yep, that one. Nope, not that one. Yep, that one." As he's counting out his gold again.
I messed up a couple times. Let's start over.
And
You just gotta get a pile on the counter and then you start counting. That's how you do it.
Yep. So.
Okay, so he's able to give you a bag of the supplies,
Okay.
the herbs and everything, and he writes out the recipe for you. And he's He makes sure nobody else is looking, and he kind of explains how to make it, and hands it over.
Does it taste good?
Uh,
Oh.
Here, try one, and I'm gonna use prestidigitation to make it actually taste like bacon.
Baking
that's
soda.
a good way to do it.
Alright, I'll drink it.
See, it tastes just fine.
This is good. I'll have more.
Only one a day,
Oh.
1 dose a day, only during the full moon, because you can end up overdosing if it builds up in your system. You know, the full moon burns it out of you. So
I see.
be careful.
All right, so recipe for the moonless potion. I'm assuming this is probably some sort of mixture of monk's hood and possibly nightshade.
With a few other ingredients that are less appetizing.
Well, nightshade is a poison, but I
Yeah.
imagine.
But I mean, like, flavor-wise.
Yeah. Okay, so what I will let you give me the list of ingredients just so that way I can document them, or do you want me to just keep track of them?
Yeah, just keep track of how many doses worth you have.
Okay. And then all right, so good to go. Got everything there. At which point I will head to the eye and await for autumn.
Okay. So let's do. Evelda, are you wanting that whispers or?
Whispers, please.
Okay. So we'll get to that in a. Well, we'll kind of do that on the side. Ren and Avani, you guys catch up to Autumn outside the building.
Oh, you there?
She turns around slowly and just looks you up and down. Yeah?
My associate here said she saw you with her friends.
Well, it depends. Who's your friends?
The Balaam and the lizard.
Okay,
Right,
yeah,
so-
I was with them. So?
Did they tell you where they were going?
Yeah. Well, I told them where to go.
Right. They ran off before I could speak anything to them.
They'll be back. They're going to meet me at the eye of the storm in an hour.
Right. So out of the storm.
Yeah.
Right. Right. Then I guess we'll be meeting you there.
Oh, you're part of
follow you
this?
there. They're part of our group. We're going to help them.
You're getting really digital.
Yeah.
Hold on.
That actually would be a really good punk band, though. Balaam and the lizard.
All right. How about now?
Better.
Okay. Hey, we're going to help them. They're part of our group.
You don't understand the situation, do you? You don't know what's going on.
What? Yes. Why was the lizard handcuffed?
Balaam can explain that. I don't feel like it. You guys aren't gonna be much help in this. I'll tell you that much. But thanks. And she goes for the door.
What did he do now?
I go in right behind her.
Okay. So she pretty much starts to shut the door in your face, and you can push your way through. And as soon as you push through the door, she's got her sword pointed at you.
She's gonna arrest him now.
I summon my sword. Really? You want to do this now?
Oh my god, can I grab him?
We're going to help them regardless of what you think.
You can't help them in here. This is private property. Get out. You're not part of the order. get out, I will make you.
Leave.
Okay.
I just wait for them.
Okay, as he's leaving, as the door's closing, I'm gonna whisper to her, sorry about it.
Really?
Yes, really. And then we'll go to the bar she was talking about.
Yep. Eye of the Storm. Okay, so you guys all get to the Eye of the Storm, and it's probably half an hour waiting because your shopping didn't take long and stuff.
So what, we got there before they did?
Well, no. Balaam and Nibbles get there first, and then
Okay.
you guys soon after, and then it's
Okay.
another half hour before she shows up.
Well, I mean, once we get there, I'm gonna talk to Nibbles.
Go for it.
What did you do?
Apparently tried to eat seagulls. People got mad at me. I'm cursed. Normal. This is a normal night.
You... How are you
Hey, that's
cursed?
totally normal.
I show him the wrong shoulder again.
I don't see anything.
Balaam, I lost it.
And point out the symbol on his back. Apparently, he's been marked from birth.
Now,
Hey,
Nibbles, what color scales are yours?
I am blue.
Blue? Okay, so the mark is like a sort of dull green. So it stands out. And Balaam, you remember, it's like there's some modeling and variance to his scale color, but it wasn't that noticeable before. Like, you've seen his shoulder.
I was gonna ask, does he wear clothes?
Not like full
Kind of.
leathers.
He's got the leather strap armor where it's like pieces of leather strapped together.
And there's a bunch of little skulls on them.
So,
I
I mean, it
imagine-
would have been visible if it had been there this whole time.
Potentially. It could be that it didn't fully manifest itself until the first transformation.
How did we never notice this?
I don't know, I can't see it.
It
I'm
may
gonna
not
just
have,
kind of look at him weird, and then I'm gonna turn to Balaam. How did we never notice this?
it may be that it hid itself within the normal modeling of his skin, and now that the transformation has taken effect, it is showing itself in full.
So what, like a coming of age?
Very similar.
It's like Teen Wolf.
I'm not familiar with that reference.
That was out of character.
I didn't even hear what he said.
Like Teen Wolf. Okay, in that case, I am familiar with that reference.
I
But
sure
yes.
hope you're familiar with that reference.
I do believe that this is not. It's not something that we would have been aware of until the change happened.
Is
So
there any
now-
way to cure it?
Well, I'm sure there probably is, but I would like to know more about it before we go about curing it. It could be that there is an important reason for Nibbles to have this ability. While we may call it a curse, sometimes those curses can be turned into blessings. I've seen many a monster turn against their masters that way.
And it can't be all that bad. I didn't eat people. I went for seagulls, which aren't that
True.
great in the first place.
So, is there a way to control it then?
Right now, we've got a potion that will prevent transformation upon the full moon. And I have enough supplies to maintain a couple of months. However, I will need to get more when that supply begins to run out. Until we know more about this, for now, I don't think it's going to be... It is a manageable condition.
What kind of supplies are needed for this?
And I'll bring out a couple of the herbs that the key components, the harder to find components, but not all of them.
Have I seen any of these herbs before in any of the studies that I've done?
Roll of nature.
Possibly not.
They don't look familiar. The more common stuff, that he pulls out are you recognize those, but the rarer ingredients you don't recognize.
If possible, we should try to find some of these in nature so we can start to grow them in the greenhouse.
I completely agree, because I do feel like this is going to become an ongoing maintenance.
And the last thing we need is for him to kill someone in another town.
Well, that is the hope, that we could prevent that entirely. But I do feel like Nibbles has more control over himself during the change than a typical lycanthrope. Like he said, he didn't go after people. The entire circus didn't even know that he was gone. If he had changed fully like a normal lycanthrope would have, I'm pretty sure I wouldn't be standing here right now.
Do we even know what kind he is?
I wasn't witness to the transformation. The only one who might know would be Autumn.
If you guys look at me, my head's in my bag eating something.
What's on your bag eating something?
I'm eating my bag.
His head is in his bag.
You're like, okay,
Yeah.
you're feed bagging, got it.
Are we sure he's not already transformed?
I'm pretty sure this is typical Nibbles.
Watch, it turns out he's not even a lizard. That's his actual transformation.
That would be so funny.
Turns out he's actually human.
That would be really funny.
Time to re-roll. Just,
Yeah.
I just gave him the idea.
It would have been better if he was like a gnome or something.
He's a no gnomes. We don't need any more fucking Kazakh family in any of our games.
Zuko's long lost third cousin twice removed.
There's one of us in every game now.
He does have a few siblings that are still missing. So
God, there's one in every game now. We don't need a second one in one of our games.
No, too much. But no, that is pretty funny thought. But no, back to the game. I do believe that Autumn will have more information for us when she returns. She should be here 45 minutes or so. I did say to meet us here in an hour.
We'll find out more then.
okay, so about an hour has passed, and Autumn walks in with a older gentleman, probably late 50s, half gray beard, and he's in similar armor. Doesn't have the black pauldron, and his under tunic, under the armor, the collar peeks up a little bit, and his is purple. Hers is gray, his is purple.
I'll greet and make introductions.
So she nods at everyone as they're introduced, and she says, "This is Zachary. He is one of the elders of our order, our officers, so to speak."
I forget, what order is that again?
She actually never really told you. You know that she has served the Raven Queen, and that she had been a cleric for a little while. Now she is part of a different order.
Okay.
So everyone sits down, and she starts to explain how she found Nibbles as more than a lizard, more crocodile-like, larger, definitely hungry, and she had lured him away, knocked him out, dragged him to her cellar and locked him up. And Zachary just nodding through all of this. He says, well, it sounds like you would be a candidate for our order if you wouldn't mind joining. For now, we wouldn't request, it wouldn't impose upon you, but there would be some rituals and certain services that we would need you to fulfill before you are a full-fledged member. But we can teach you how to use some abilities you probably didn't realize you had.
What?
He understands. I think he just takes a little time to process.
Autumn takes out a knife, runs it swiftly across the skin between her thumb and index finger, and it catches on fire.
Her thumb?
No, the dagger.
The blade. Nice try,
Also
Nick.
ability.
Hey, it's how I let my cigars.
Yeah. No, the dagger catches on fire.
That's cool.
We can teach you how to do the same. And she extinguishes it. So, you can become a blood hunter if you'd like. We will train you how to gain control of this. There haven't been any lichens in the order, at least in the sea, for probably 100 years, so we're just going off of tomes at the moment. But
I would be interested in those books, please.
I wouldn't. I can't read.
Well, he can read and explain it to you then.
That's
I would like to be a part of his training if that is allowed. I feel like it will go much easier given my ability to translate for him.
I'm gonna hold my hand out to Autumn's knife for Autumn's dagger.
She hands it over.
I'm gonna start looking for a button.
A button?
Yeah, she caught it on fire.
Oh. So you're examining the dagger for a trick.
Yeah.
And she just kind of smirks and chuckles. And in response to Balaam wanting to be part of the training, Zachary looks like he's going to object, and then Autumn just kind of gives him a look, and you can tell she kind of kicks him under the table. And you can tell there's like some silent communication between them in this look they're exchanging, and then he just kind of sighs.
I'm gonna give Autumn that big shit-eating grin like the kid who just won.
And she just kind of shakes her head, but smirking. And he's like, we can perhaps arrange something. You'd have to swear yourself to secrecy. These are our secrets.
I understand.
All right. We can arrange something if you don't mind spending a few days. Takes a bit of practice to get the hang of this.
We gotta get those merfolk. The bad people.
Yes, the Marrow were harassing the shores to the north, and they were awaiting a caravan. Before we begin your training, or before I join you in your training, Nibbles, I would like to potentially deal with that. So follow them, listen to them, and learn. I will be with you shortly.
Oh, okay.
I mean, you don't have to start it today. You can come back if you guys got work. It's going to be a little risky until you start figuring this stuff out.
Which is all the more reason why he should go with you now.
Well, if you don't object, I will make it clear now, Nibbles. If you don't follow my direction, I will stab you.
If you catch me.
You'd be surprised how quick I am.
That sounds fun.
Nibbles, don't talk to the nice people trying to train you.
Fine. I take out my dagger. I'm trying to compare the two daggers now.
Okay. Roll an investigation.
Oh, that's great. Wow, that went great.
Wow. Okay.
Wow.
So throughout all this, you're like comparing them, looking back and forth, examining it, pressing all over. It's just a dagger. It's slightly different design, but
Well, yeah, mine's a dragon tooth one.
Yeah, but it's just a dagger.
All right, I hand her both daggers.
Okay, and then she takes yours, does the same thing, and it glows.
I don't know.
She just smirks ear to ear.
Mind blown.
So are you like, I don't know. I don't even explain it. You're cutting yourself, and then it does something.
Yeah.
Does that mean if I cut something, it does something?
It's going to be tricky to explain. Basically, you're using your blood and the blood of others to create effects.
I'm gonna bite my thumb. just the tip of it, not the whole thing.
Okay. What are you thinking of?
I
As
only
you
have
try
one.
it?
It's the
Okay. I know,
lightning
but
one.
okay. Are you thinking about electricity in your mouth?
Oh no, I'm just biting and seeing if something happens.
Okay, then nothing happens.
Okay. Oh, it didn't work.
I think
takes
that's part of the
practice.
training. There, Nibbles.
It took me a little while too. But there's different sects of our order. I'm Ghost Slayer. He's mutant. Like I said, we haven't had a Lycan in the order for about 100 years. So you'll be good. It's
Okay.
always good to have some diversity.
All right. So when do we start? Do we start now?
If you want.
Yeah.
Okay.
I wanna at least know a little bit so I can help Balaam with the angry swimming people that think they can outswim me.
Tell you what. When would you have to leave for this mission anyway, Balaam?
No, let's see.
Think
It
it's-
was when we found the caravan list. It was 2 days from when.
So we have a day.
It would be.
And you got back that night
Mhm.
So it would be tomorrow.
or that afternoon. So yes, tomorrow.
Okay. So we would need to be able to leave by tomorrow.
Okay. So if you can master enough of this today, then you can go with.
Okay.
But you gotta learn quick.
Okay. I put Mr. Blinky down. Keep notes, and then I'm gonna.
Let's go back to the Crimson Keep.
I'm going to go ahead and just cast guidance on Nibbles, just cause.
Okay. Balaam, did you want to do errands for the day, or you want to come with? Since you...
Well, I just remembered we don't know that guy is in the barrel right now.
Yeah, no, you don't. You guys
So-
haven't looked at any of it yet.
So I would be going with Nibbles.
Okay. Okay, so the two of you go back to the Crimson Keep, and you guys get to train with Blood Hunters.
Yay!
And this is the first time you really saw the kind of things other than when you first met her and she helped you talk to your dad. This is the first time you really see the kind of things she can do.
Mhm.
And you, like, I don't know if you'd be surprised necessarily, but
Now.
she's got some tricks up her sleeve that you've never seen before.
Not so much surprised. Impressed, but not surprised.
So you guys can do that. Everyone else, after this meeting where you guys are probably a little half lost, are you guys going back to the ship to check out the loot, or
To check out the what?
The loot you guys got.
Those boxes and
The
shit.
boxes
We probably
and
should.
Yeah, probably.
So, after you guys split, you guys head back to the ship. Ooh, excuse me.
Okay, and then everything that happened at the end of last week happens right
Well,
now.
we're gonna do a little bit more. Go a little bit in depth with it.
We open it up, we find the body, I recognize it as a member of the probe.
Hang on. You guys go back and roll a perception.
Cool.
You two.
Perception?
Mm-hmm.
23.
23. Okay. Okay, so as you guys climb up to the ship, Ivelda's hanging around the boxes, and it kind of looks like she might have been closing one as you guys mounted the deck.
Might have been what?
Closing one of the boxes.
Ivelda, what are you
Fiddling with
doing?
the box.
I spin around. Oh, nothing.
What's in the box?
Oh, spices? I
What?
don't know.
I'm gonna go over to that box and open it.
Yeah, that box has assorted spices, ginger, pepper, cloves, some jars.
Okay, I'm just gonna kind of give her a narrow-eyed look, like, okay. You
What?
win
I
this
was
time.
bored. I've been here for hours.
Well, you missed quite a bit. Apparently, Nibbles is a lycanthrope.
Come again.
A wild beast.
When did that happen?
Apparently, he was born with it. It just recently manifested.
Maybe he's born with it.
It
We've
just
been
manifested
traveling
last
around
night.
We've been traveling around with this guy. And he's aware of something or other. Is he like aware?
Yeah, we didn't actually find out what he was, did we?
She described a crocodile.
Oh, crocodile, got it.
He's aware crocodile.
Yeah.
Were croc?
Yes, he is a
That's
were
horrible.
crocodile. He
That's horrible.
he
I thought I
stole
was
some.
gonna go with that,
He
too.
tried to steal some birds last night.
Steel bird.
Yes.
I don't. You know what? I don't have the mental energy for that.
It's a long story. We'll talk about it later. We should probably finish checking out these boxes, though.
Yeah, sure.
So,
If you like copper, you can check out those boxes on that side.
So you guys can go through all of them. There are 8 crates of iron bars, 2 crates of copper bars, 2 barrels of salt, 1 crate of silver bars, 2 crates of cotton, just lots of square yardage.
Wait, you said there was a barrel of salt,
2 barrels of salt, yeah.
and there's still salt in the barrels?
It's kind of
Watertight
stuck
barrels.
together. It's
I was
not
gonna-
perfectly
I was-
watertight, but
Yeah, I was
the
gonna say
edges
that's
are-
a pretty good barrel if the salt's still good.
Well, it's also salt water outside, so it didn't really, leak out or anything. But it's that edges don't look so great.
Got it. So we just can't use the edges of the barrel.
You'd have to chip the salt out.
Yeah, you'd have to do some cleaning and work at it.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then the box that had all the spices of ginger, pepper, cloves, and the jars of different spices. And then the barrel that at first seems like it's going to be pickles, and nope, it is a body.
It's a pickled body.
Yeah, it's a pickled body.
And then there's all that. He's a talon up the crow. All of that bullshit.
He's a what of the who?
So
he works for the crow. He's one of his enforcers, known as the talon.
Who's the crow?
A crime lord.
Ah. Hate crime lords.
Think of Kingpin.
Yeah.
Not too far off. Or if you guys have seen Firefly, Niska.
Yeah, that puts a new spin on things.
Okay, so silver, copper, iron, cotton, spices.
Salt, ginger, pepper, cloves, and then assorted jars of spices.
And then pickled body. Pickled talon. Pickled crow talons.
So.
We might want to get rid of this body.
Yeah, sure. Go for it. Have fun.
Okay, so I assume you guys haven't pulled the body out. You just opened it, seen there was a body, noticed that tattoo on the hand.
And then immediately closed it.
Yeah.
Can't smell very good, I bet.
Well, is he wearing stuff?
He's got some leather armor on.
No weapons or anything in the barrel?
It's hard to tell because you're seeing top down and he's kind of crammed in there.
Where are we looking at the barrels at? Are we on the deck or are we in the hold?
Did you guys leave them on the deck or did you take it to the hold?
They're in the hold.
Okay, then you're in the hold.
Okay, if they're in there, then I will pull the body out.
Okay. Roll a strength because this is a briny, waterlogged body.
Strength or athletics?
Either one.
Well, I mean, they're both 0, so.
Okay, you're struggling. You're having, you got one arm out, and the head is up out of the brine, but that's about it.
Does someone want to help? This guy is heavy.
No, ew.
After I issue the order, I go down and I give a hand.
And with the list of supplies that you guys have looted, he runs off and follows orders. So you guys are able to pull the body out. Actually, what's everyone's passives?
Mine is
Ren is
14 or 15.
Mine's 14.
Okay, so you guys have gone up. I need to update that. Okay. So yeah, Ren and Ivana, you both notice. Okay, so the Nero had harpoons.
Mm-hmm.
This guy was not stabbed with a harpoon. There are slashes across his torso. And
He was sliced.
and a couple stab marks, but they're not round like a harpoon would do. These are longer, like a blade.
With my experience of blades, could I tell what type of a blade they could have been?
Roll an intelligence.
Just straight intelligence?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. That is a 17.
Okay. It looks like longsword or greatsword, probably.
So a bigger blade.
Yeah.
Okay.
It wasn't like a rapier for sure. It wasn't a dagger.
Mm-hmm.
If it was a short sword, it was a thick short sword, maybe like cutlass kind of short sword. Not a scimitar, probably.
Mm-hmm.
Just judging by the stabs.
All right, so I tell them the general
Yeah.
thing of what it could have been. I'll be right back.
So Vani, Ren just explained that the guy was stabbed with probably a long sword or a great sword, slashed and stabbed.
Okay, so he wasn't killed by the marrows, which means he was put in the body beforehand.
Hmm.
Now I gotta wait for Ren to come back.
Obviously, since he's still pickled, they didn't get him out of there or anything. Didn't open it.
I think they attacked the ship, took everything that was in it, but they didn't actually look at what they took. Kind of like we didn't.
That means they either didn't care what was in there, or they just have a very huge lack of curiosity.
I think they were just taking it to take it.
Because they could.
Oh, but he didn't have anything on him?
He had a scabbard. Well, more like a loop for, like a frog for a sword, but there wasn't anything in there.
Got it. In the army's words, nothing special.
Yeah, it's just leather.
Yeah.
Slashed up leather now.
Well, what should we do with the body?
Get rid of it.
How, though?
Just dump it overboard or something. I don't know.
No.
Oh, that's a good idea. I'm sorry, not there.
Just dump a barrel off the side of our boat while we're in port. I'm sure no one...
Unfortunately, Evelda, doing that will bring us more attention than we need at the moment.
Why? We can't consider it like a burial at sea type deal?
People will ask questions.
So what? Well, I guess that is a big deal, isn't it? Oh well.
They'll automatically assume that we're the ones that killed him. Do you really want that right now?
Well, I mean, we didn't kill him. We didn't even have him on board when he died.
Especially considering who his boss is.
Oh,
Hey.
him.
His boss will not ask questions. He will just kill us.
Well, then, shove him back in the barrel. Why are we moving him then? When we get out to sea, then we can dump him overboard.
So you want to keep the body on the boat?
Well, who's gonna think that we have a body on board the boat? Who's gonna assume that?
For right now, we'll put him in the barrel. When we reach a destination where we don't really think we're going to have to worry about anything, we'll tie something to his legs and throw him overboard so he sinks.
See, I like
But
that.
for now, we
That
should put him back in the barrel.
Yeah.
For now, we put him back in the barrel.
Pretend like we never opened this barrel. Okay?
So yeah, I'll put him back in the barrel.
I'll give her a hand putting him back in the barrel since she was having difficulties getting him out of the barrel in the first place.
Well, he's probably going to be easier to put in than it was to take him out.
Yeah. You'd really need help just jamming him back in. Like, you can lift him up easier, but
How long has this guy been dead? Like, skin isn't like falling off his body or anything.
Well, he
right?
was pickled.
you can roll a medicine check.
To see if his skin falls off, I think I'll live with the mystery.
It's hard to tell. The pickling kind of
Usually
Preserve it,
does
so
a pretty
it-
good job of preserving him.
yeah. So could have been a day before you guys got it, or it could have been a week, maybe 2.
So he's been dead for like 3 days.
You don't know.
Well, he probably wasn't dead for too long if he was with the ship. If he was on the ship with the rest of those supplies. That salt underwater for too long probably would have been in worse shape than that.
Huh.
My guess is maybe a week or 2.
Alright. That really matters. We don't actually care who this guy is, right? Other than the fact that he
Not
has a
really.
nasty boss.
I'm more worried about his boss. I guess
For
we.
me.
Yeah, so we'll stuff him back in, and then I guess we'll wait for Balaam. Someone should probably go get Suko. I think
Yeah,
he's
where is
still
the kid?
drunk at the carnival.
He had gone to the house.
Oh, he's at the house now? Oh, yeah, he did say he was at the house.
Hey, Avani, if you got a second,
Yes.
is Ren still around?
I don't know. Is Ren still around?
Yeah, I'm still in the room.
Okay, I look at him and go, shoot.
That's fine. Fine. I go upstairs.
Good job, Captain.
So,
Don't really have the fucking energy to argue with you.
What do you need?
you like helping people, right?
Somewhat.
I mean, you're pretty smart.
Yes.
I've got a problem.
What did you do?
I didn't do anything per se.
What did you do?
Look, it's about a friend. I've got a friend.
What did you do to your friend?
I didn't. You know what? Just let me explain, and then you can ask questions, whatever I might answer. Look, I got a friend who is in trouble.
Okay.
All right, and I don't think this friend has very much time left if I'm going to help him. So, you like helping people, right? I mean, was that something you'd be willing to help me with, maybe?
I need to find out what kind of help you need.
Well, that is the $1 million question now.
Million gold question.
Sorry, million gold piece question, isn't it?
Okay, what's the 500,000 platinum question?
Well, that's a much bigger question.
No, that's the same. It's just different.
Oh, no, it is the same. Okay, shut up. Math is not my fault. I'm an English lit major, okay?
Okay, what kind of help do you need?
I don't know. All I know is he's in trouble. I don't even know where he is. But the fortune teller at the circus said that he was closer than I thought, that he didn't have a lot of time left, and to search the shadows. I don't know what that means.
That is very confusing.
I know, right? I have been trying to work this out for like 4 days. 3 days. How long has it been?
A few weeks.
Like, took a day to get out to the marrow, and then...
It's been at least 3.
Okay, so yeah, okay, it's been like 3 days.
Yeah.
And I cannot for the life of me figure this out.
I mean, without knowing more information, I don't know how to help. We would have to find him. And I don't currently have any way of finding a person that I've never met.
I've got to find him.
I mean, an option is to maybe try to find a crystal ball.
A crystal ball? How? What do you do with a crystal ball?
You scry with it?
Yeah, but can you scry on somebody you have never met? Or do I have to scry?
I can't, but you can.
I can? I don't know how to scry.
That's what the crystal ball is for.
Oh. Well, where do you go about finding one of those?
They're magic, so probably a magic shop.
Oh, so I'd have to pay for it.
I can help you pay for one if we can find one.
Okay. You want to go shopping?
Sure. Girls' night out.
Let's go. We're going to go shopping.
Let's go find a crystal ball.
Okay. Ren, are you doing anything while the girls go shopping?
I'm going to go home wondering what the fuck have I done with my life.
Okay.
Shopping montage. We're just shopping to girls just want to have fun.
Oh my god.
You guys are humming as you stride along the... Yeah. So, roll an investigation.
Who?
Either of you, to see if you guys can find the crystal ball.
19.
Dude, your intelligence is really high.
She's a wizard.
We're probably not going to be able to find one, though.
Avani's a wizard? You're a wizard?
It's a type. Blade Singer is a type of wizard.
Yeah, you didn't know I was a wizard?
Crystal.
The worst part is even if you find the orb, it's going to be expensive.
It is.
That's why I said
so,
it's going to be super expensive. So
I got a plan.
Okay.
I'm going to fucking steal it.
So, you do find a shop that they have in a case toward the back a crystal ball.
I turn to Avani and I say, act nonchalant.
Okay.
Just extremely aloof. Alright? Let me handle this.
I'll act nonchalant.
Okay. Do I see anything else in the store?
That's a good one. Yeah, let's go that one. Okay, so there are other things in the store. There is a shield, a trio of little goat figurines made of ivory. Actually, there's two shields. There's a wand. There's splint armor. There's an amulet. There is a greatsword, a mace, a quarterstaff, a rod, and a breastplate. And a flute, short sword, and shovel. Oddly.
A shovel?
Yes.
Okay, I want to look at the shovel.
Okay.
All these weapons and armors, and it's a shovel that I want to know about.
So, you go
Magic
over,
shovel.
and the shopkeeper comes over and says, "That's a good one for someone on a budget. It's a shovel of digging."
Generally, that's what the shovel does.
Wait a minute. The shopkeeper's talking to Avani right now?
Yes.
I want to go over and examine the crystal ball while he's talking to Avani.
Okay. It is in a case. But you can examine it. What are you just looking at it, or what are you doing?
Yeah, I'm looking. What does the case look like?
It's a glass case. Looks pretty secure, probably because this is a very expensive item. And it's an easy one to walk off with if you're not careful.
Okay.
We've already slept for an hour.
Okay. I'm gonna look. I'll just look at this crystal ball.
Okay. So you're just like staring through the glass. Okay. So
what does the shovel of digging do?
It can dig on its own.
It's a self-digging shovel.
If you so out of character, this is what it explains. If you touch it and use an action to command it to do so, it will dig up 1 cubic foot per round of soil, sand, or clay, and will continue to dig for as long as you concentrate on it, up to an hour, after which it won't function for an hour. If you command it to refill the hole it has already dug, it uses the same soil and finishes the job in 6 rounds regardless of size of the hole.
So you could dig for 24 hours, and it would take 6 rounds for it to fill that hole back in?
Well, because it only works for an hour at a time.
Yeah, I know.
But yeah, but
that for 24 hours.
I would say that would mechanically be separate holes, technically, even if you are just digging from where you left off. So it would be for each hour long that you spent on it, it's 6 rounds for that.
For every hour you dig, it takes a minute to refill.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh no, that's not
Ronnie,
even.
you're not actually going to get a shovel, are you?
I'm just looking. I just want to know what the fuck a magic shovel can do. I've never heard of a magic shovel.
Shopkeep.
Yes.
What is this?
You're pointing at the crystal ball?
Yeah.
That is a crystal ball. It allows you to scry on people, even if you don't have that magical ability yourself.
Really?
Yes.
That doesn't seem possible.
Oh, it
mean,
is.
you gotta have some kind of ability.
No. The magic, just like most magic items, is in the item itself. Just like a wand of magic missiles. You don't have to be able to cast magic missile yourself. The wand is casting it for you. You're just activating it.
No. I was always told that to scry, you have to be able to scry. Come on.
Roll a persuasion. I knew where this is going from the beginning. Yeah, roll a persuasion.
Nice.
Okay, so no, magic is in the item. I mean, have you not used any magic
items? How much
items?
is something like this before? How much is something like this?
This crystal ball is 40,000 gold.
Whew! Is it something that probably won't even work?
It works.
I
have authenticated myself.
I could coin on something like this without knowing that it works.
Well, I have personally identified every item in this store. I don't sell anything unless I have identified it. I don't buy anything unless I've identified it to make sure that it's authentic.
That may be true, but I mean, in this day and age, you gotta look out for your own self-interest.
Well, I'll tell you this. If something of mine that I sell doesn't work, and you are free to test it after you buy it in the store, I would give a full refund if it didn't work.
That's a lot of coin.
Yes, it is. The rare item.
What about a quick demonstration? Okay, just let me see that this thing actually does what you say it's gonna do.
Yeah,
because I don't wanna take this out of the store and then try and use it, look like an idiot because I can't actually scry and this thing doesn't work.
Trying to get a free scry out of it.
Yeah. Checking the spell. Give me a second.
Checking what spell? The scrying spell?
Mm-hmm.
Has to be someone well, no, the DC changes depending on if it's someone you actually know, if it's someone you've met more than once, if you have an item that they owned.
I have all of those things.
Tell you what. You go, say, down the street. Hold up however many fingers you want for a full minute. And then come back and I'll tell you how many you
Oh, come
held
on.
up.
But you use magic. You know how to scry. Of course it'll work for you. What about me? I don't know how to scry. How do I know this thing will work for me?
It works no matter who's using it.
That's not what I heard. And I've heard from some very reliable sources in my time.
Roll a deception. This is the harder DC because your harp is humming.
I was about to say.
Has she replaced the strings? Because the last time all her strings broke.
She replaces it all the time. Because she needs to be able to play it. Okay. They kind of look at you. I think you heard wrong.
I don't think so.
Well, then don't buy it.
Well, I'm not going to buy it if I don't know that it works. That's just silly.
I offered you a full refund if it doesn't work. I offered that you can test it before you leave the shop, so you don't have to worry about coming back.
But you're not letting me test it. You're using it.
No, after you buy it, you can test it before you leave the shop, and if it doesn't work, then I'd give you a refund. Or if you have a friend that can identify, I would let them identify it before you buy it.
You know what? I think I'll look around a little bit more and think about it, because I swear I heard that if you can't scry, then the crystal ball does nothing for you.
Well, if you can't scry, then you don't really need a crystal ball, do you?
I would love to be able to scry, but I don't know that this works for me. You say it works. I don't know if it works.
I'm saying if a person can scry, they don't have much need for the orb. So there's not much point in making it useful only to those that can already cast
I heard it
the
just
spell.
makes it easier.
No.
Alright, well, I'll look around a little bit more. Hey, Avani, you see anything else that interests you? Does the shopkeep look over at her when I say that?
Yeah.
Okay. I give Avani a signal like, yes, look for something. Go on. Talk.
Not sneaky.
Roll a sleight of hand, Evelda.
He's looking away from me. Why do I have to roll a sleight of hand?
I want to know how subtly you're doing this. Okay, not bad. Doesn't turn around. So, Avani, what are you doing?
Do I notice her doing that?
Well, she called your name. Would you turn around?
I'll turn.
Yeah. So you see her gesturing.
Okay. What does she want me to do?
I don't know. Hey, you were talking about wanting a shield the other day, weren't you? There are a couple over there.
Okay, sure. I'll go take a look at the shields.
Okay. The shopkeep goes over with you. One is a +1 shield, the other is an arrow catching shield.
I never understood why anyone would want an arrow catching shield.
There's plenty of things that have fringe appeal. I'll say it that way.
I don't know. What about this +1? It's just a +1 shield?
Yep.
How much is it?
Let me double check. I meant to write down these rarities, but I haven't yet. Shield, uncommon, so it is $275.
275.
While they're talking about the shield, I'm casting Charm Person on the shop owner.
Okay, and that's a wisdom save, right?
Yes. And he doesn't know that it's cast. If he succeeds in the wisdom check, does he know that a spell was cast on him?
I don't know. Does it say whether or not he does on the spell?
After Charm Person goes away, they know they've been charmed.
Oh, but that's only if it succeeds, right? If it
If
fails,
succeeds,
they
he
don't
would
know,
know.
right?
You don't know.
Okay. Okay.
Roll a stealth. It's a verbal, right?
Yes.
Okay,
But
then
he's
roll.
across the shop.
This is how quietly you're muttering. That's a wisdom save, right?
Yes.
What's your DC?
Why don't you tell me what it was first, and I'll tell you.
I can just look at your sheet.
It's 15.
Okay, he barely failed.
Yay.
I don't know what you think you're gonna do with this.
Okay, so that was a 14 total, barely failed. And so you pretty sure the magic took hold. It feels like it took hold. But he's still talking to Avani.
So I call across from, excuse me.
Yes.
Hi. And I smile real big.
Smiles right back.
You know, I really am fascinated by that crystal ball. Do you think I could try and use it once?
Roll of persuasion with advantage.
Oh!
No looking.
See, that's the thing about this spell. It doesn't guarantee. This gives you advantage. It's like,
Just says you're.
I'm sorry, but you have to buy before you can test things out. And like I said, if it doesn't work, you don't even have to leave the shop to test it. You can test it in the shop. But if it doesn't work, I'll give you a full refund.
Are you sure that if I gave you like a deposit, could I try it once and then see? Please.
Roll again with advantage. Better. I mean, it would have to be at least 10% deposit. Do you have that much on you?
How much is 10% of that? That's 4,000.
Yeah.
How much do you have on you?
Oh, I have
No.
830 gold and 129 platinum.
You have enough. If both of us do it.
Platinum.
Both of us
One
do it.
platinum is 10 gold.
Yeah, so that I only have
1,000 gold.
1,290.
Yeah.
How much? 1,000. How much?
2,000. I have almost 2,000 gold.
I have 2,700. So if you do all your gold and I do most of my gold, it'll cover 10% of it.
Okay. So we'll put down a deposit.
Okay.
Get the deposit back if it doesn't work.
Just like a refund, yes.
Okay.
I will warn you that the spell can be resisted. So there's a difference between you not being able to see them and the spell not working. If it doesn't work, you will not see any fog at all. If it does work, but they resist it, then you will see fog, it just won't clear for you.
Okay,
Alright.
So how much gold did you have, Yavelda?
I had 2,000, 2,110 gold.
Okay, you do 2,000, I'll do 2,000.
Okay. So, he unlocks the case, carefully removes the orb, hands it over. Just focus on the person you want to see.
Okay. And I'm holding this ball, and I hold on to my necklace for a second, and I focus.
Let's see. Okay. So, the orb starts to glow and your vision fogs over. And actually, let me take a look. So
Got my eyes closed, by the way.
Yeah, it starts to clear for a little bit, and then it just fogs back up.
Is this supposed to do something?
Do you see fog?
I don't see anything.
Roll a
My
deception.
eyes are closed.
Does she make this with advantage too? Oh,
Doesn't matter.
with
My first one's
advantage.
pretty
Okay.
I like how she's better at lying to people than trying to convince them to do stuff.
Yeah. Okay. So, he's like, well, it's supposed to make your vision, even with your eyes closed, you're supposed to be seeing fog in your mind. And then if it's not resisted, it'll clear and you'll see whoever you're picturing.
good. I open my eyes and I look at him. Well, is it not working, or am I not doing something right?
Well, I mean, there's a chance that maybe you weren't thinking hard enough. I mean, I've never had it not work before. I've actually used it myself a couple times.
Maybe I did something wrong. Let me try again.
Okay. Yeah, there's no limit on how many times you can
Nope,
use
it does not say there's a limit.
Okay.
So that's what I was looking at.
So you focus again. Okay. This time, your vision clouds over, and then it clears up, and you see a figure walking down a very shadowed tunnel. And he, it's very raggedy cloak, hood pulled low over his face. You don't see his face. And he merges out from this tunnel, and there's this is almost like a cavern, but it's also kind of shaped. Like it was just caves, and then they carved it to make it more accessible, I guess is a word. And so it opens up into this cavern, and there's almost like booths, like mini shops lining the edges of this cavern. And there's a decent sized crowd, not like, normal open air market necessarily, but there's a decent crowd. And around him, there's very shady looking characters. And you watch him walk into the crowd, just like almost like a ghost weaving in and out between them. And then you see a figure as he approached, a large figure with a familiar looking tattoo up his hand and forearm. And this cloaked figure gets close, very Assassin's Creed style, pulls out a sword, stabs him, and lifts up, gutting him, pulls out his sword in one swift movement, and just keeps walking as the body collapses slowly. And he just melts into the crowd. And then your vision clouds again.
I really don't think this is working.
Roll a deception.
Well, is this a standard crystal ball, or is it one of the ones that has special abilities to it?
It's a standard one. If it was a special one, it would be a lot more expensive.
Yeah, okay.
Okay. So you're, one hand on your harp to keep it as quiet as possible. He's like, maybe it needs to get checked out by this academy in Armenier.
Right,
all
I
right.
hand it back to him. I hope you figure it out.
And he's like fretting, like, "Oh my god, this super valuable thing has stopped working. Did somebody dispel magic on it?" So he's
Did we get our money back though? The deposit.
Yeah.
Okay,
You
so we get our
lied well
deposit
enough to
back.
get it back. And he puts it carefully back in the cage, the case, and locks it, and then puts a sheet over it, a silk sheet.
Well, if it starts working again, we might come back and see about.
If you're not interested, give it a week. I can have it sent out to the academy and see if it can get fixed.
Okay.
He looks like super scared because this is like probably his most expensive thing in the whole shop, and it's broken.
That's okay. Don't worry about it. Thank you for trying, though.
Have a good day. I'm sorry I couldn't have been more help.
That's okay. Thank you. Come on, Ivani. Go, 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 go.
Okay, I'll rush out with her.
Okay.
I rush out. We start hastily half running down the street.
Yeah.
Okay, did it work?
Yes. We keep walking.
Okay, what happened?
Are we out of sight of the shop yet?
You wait
It does
until
last for an hour. I mean, charm person
Yeah.
lasts for an hour, so.
yeah. So yeah, you're like, hang on, and once you're around the block, down the street, you're like, okay, I think we're okay.
Okay, and I tell her everything that I saw.
So your friend is dead? Or your friend killed
that
someone?
wasn't my friend. Yeah, my friend was the guy with the sword. Oh,
So your
that
friend's
was
an
such a
assassin?
No, he's not an assassin. He wasn't an assassin. He's not an assassin.
Sounded like he just assassinated someone.
Well, I guarantee if he killed somebody, it was for a good reason.
And you did recognize the tattoo as
So
the mark of the Talon.
Her friend had the mark of the Talon, or the person
No.
she was following did?
The cloaked person was the one she was scrying on,
Okay.
and they killed another Talon.
So her friend killed the Talon member?
Yeah.
That's not good.
Yes,
If
but
he
he's also great. He's alive. Ivani, he's
no.
alive.
He's alive for now. He just killed a member of the Talon. They're going to be
Oh, they'll
hunting
never
him.
catch him. They'll never catch him. But he needs my help. He needs my help. We've got to get him out of there.
We don't even know where there is. Based on the description, does that place sound like any place I've heard of?
No, because you actually haven't been there. So
No,
no.
but we know there are Talons around. If we follow the Talons, we'll find
That
them.
is true. If it's someone from the Talons, it can't be. Well, how big of an area do the Talons operate in?
So the Crow has bases in several places around the world.
Okay.
There is at least one here in the sea.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's all that you know of because it's kind of been confirmed here.
So the only one I know of is the one that's here in the sea?
Yeah. You don't know where it is. You just know that he has one base of operations here.
I mean, he could be anywhere then.
Yes, but this is a lead. This is something. You don't understand. I thought he was dead. Ivani! And I give her a big hug and swing her around in a circle. He's alive. He's alive. Okay.
Yes,
so
he's
after
alive,
we'll
but
find-
he's still in a lot of trouble.
Yeah. No. But we'll solve that. We gotta get the others. We gotta go.
Okay, we'll rush back to the ship. And that shopkeeper's not going to be happy once that spell wears off.
Yeah, I don't intend to go back there. Don't worry. Guy was
No,
doing
I
something
can't go
anyway.
back there either, so thank you.
Well, alter self, disguise, whatever. I'm sure
I
you'll
do
find a
actually
way.
have
You're
alter
clever.
self, so that's fine.
You're
I do
very
have
clever
alter
woman.
self.
Actually, so do I. We probably should have done that before we went to the store.
Well, I didn't know you were going to fucking do that.
Well, I didn't know
When we
either,
first
but it
walked in, I was
worked
like,
out.
there's no way we're getting this. And then as soon as you started talking, I was like, oh, she's going to fucking try to convince him to let us test it.
Yep.
But it worked. It worked. That's what matters.
Somehow it worked.
Yep. It was a good idea. Okay. So, it's probably it's probably afternoon by this time, and when Toby comes back, you guys are able to sell that all the stuff. If you sell everything you found, obviously not the body, but all
Obviously.
the trade goods you found, it's worth 1,263 gold.
Okay, I put that.
He personally recommends keeping the assorted spice jars for the food.
Well, the spices I'll thinking of staying anyways.
So if you take out the spice jars from the possible money, that's 15 gold off. So 1,248.
Nice.
Oh my god, there was actually an article in the college paper that that spice drug had been related to like 13 deaths in the area, and they were arresting people for it.
You spice?
What?
That spice is an actual drug, and
Someone
people
actually
have
did a
died
good
from it.
spice.
Yes.
Oh my god. All right.
That's
Matt,
not funny, but that's a little
get
funny.
the amount?
So
Not
if you
yet.
guys are keeping the jarred spice,
We're keeping the spices.
including the salt, ginger, pepper, and cloves, or
Just the jars.
Just the jars. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So 1,248. You can sell it for.
So what's our total from everything sold?
That's the total from everything sold minus the spice jar.
all the trade goods that you sold. You're keeping a box of assorted spices and jars. That is 30 pounds worth.
That way the cook has something to spice up the food as he's cooking while we're on our drinks.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Oregano and thyme and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So selling all the metal and cotton and everything. You know, actually, I'm going to take a little bit off because it is kind of damaged. So I'm going to take, let's say, 100 off. So
couldn't we like prestidigitation the water away and all of that?
We could.
Will that take away the salt that's caked onto the cloth and stuff?
It cleans it. It doesn't necessarily.
This is a clean
I'll allow that.
void of material.
So,
You
yeah,
do it over and over again.
If you guys take time to prestidigitate, then you can get it full cost for 1,248.
Yeah, that's fine.
So we are currently, as with that added to the ship funds, we are at 11,334 gold in the ship funds, and
Awesome.
that is going to the ship.
Well, I was figuring that goes to the party fund, so you divvy out whatever to whoever if you were going to do that, or just put it all in there.
I was figuring just put all of that in the party fund.
Well, if you
It doesn't really matter.
if you put it all as ship funds, well, I guess you can split ship funds and party funds, but
Yeah.
you guys can essentially give yourselves like a paycheck from.
Yeah.
No,
the
if
ship fund.
it's stuff that we got, it might as well just go into the ship.
Yeah.
Because the ship, if we ever need anything, we'll use it from there.
Anyway, so
I want to make sure, Avani. You remember what the guy in the barrel looks like, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
It's not the same guy, was it? No, it couldn't have been.
No.
Because scrying,
No.
you don't see the past, you see what's happening at that moment.
No. I just want to make sure that if we need to, we know what the tattoo looks like and maybe what this guy looked like. In case we need to know, because we might need to know in the future.
Okay.
But
Yes, I know what he looks like.
pre-pickled. Can you?
Do I know what he
guesstimate
looks like
pre-pickled?
I'll roll an intelligence check.
Straight intelligence?
Yeah.
Yeah, it wouldn't help things if this guy shows up pickled.
You think you've got a good idea of what he looks like, but you're not entirely sure.
It's okay, no worries. As long as you know what he looks like.
Okay. Why do I need to know what he looks like pre-pickled?
In case you have that alter self spell, right?
In case I want to look like him?
Yeah.
I guess. What, you want me to impersonate him?
It's a possibility. I'm just thinking ahead, okay?
Thinking too far ahead to suicide. Okay.
Maybe, but I just wanted to say it now.
But the problem is
throw this guy overboard.
it doesn't matter if I know what he looks like. I don't know what he sounds like. I've never heard his voice.
No one says you have to talk. Or maybe
I'm gonna
maybe
need to talk.
maybe you were sick and your voice just kind of sounds a little weird because all that sea air.
I have an idea. If I turn into him, I can make it look like my throat was slit, so I can't talk.
Sure, go with that. Or
Because
your
that
tongue
works
was
so
cut out.
well for the Mighty Nine.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't have to go so violent with it. I mean, but you know, that's
My tongue was
artist
cut
choice.
out.
Artist choice.
So you guys get
You can lie
back to the ship.
convincingly, right?
Yes.
Can't you?
I can
Nani?
what?
Can you lie convincingly?
No.
All right, we'll work on it. I mean, I'm not much of a liar myself, but I am a performer.
Maybe I can.
So, if need be, I can lie for the good of the group. Sorry, go ahead. We were discussing
So,
money.
you guys get back to the ship, right?
Yeah.
So, are you guys doing anything until Balaam and Nibble show back up?
Probably just help with unloading all of those crates so we can sell them.
Okay. So, you guys are
I
able to do that?
I am pacing nervously on the deck, plucking at my harp a little bit.
Okay. So.
And that's the thing, is Balaam may know this place based on the description.
So, Balaam and Nibbles, you guys, Balaam more watches and helps explain and reads over some of the books. And after several hours, Nibbles is finally able to use his Crimson Right, and he just goes frantic on the dummies, the training dummies. And Autumn just kind of nods. Finally.
I got it. It wasn't that hard. It was super easy.
Yeah. That was my second right that I got. First one was my flames.
I like this one.
I feel like storm is a little trickier than fire, because fire is more easy to understand. So, Balaam, have you read enough of those books? Because you can't exactly take them out of the building.
For now, I suppose. I've got at least a cursory understanding so that should we need to practice, I might be able to help Nibbles develop this further.
Crazy stuff, right?
It's interesting. I did not realize that one could use blood in that manner.
Yeah, it's something that not a lot of people can figure out, much less are gifted with. So I'm glad Nibbles finally got got the hang of it.
I'm not turning it off. Just walking around with it on.
Yeah, this is going to be a thing now, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, luckily it's only going to last till he rests for a while, so if you make him sit down and relax.
No, that's not going to happen. But that's okay.
You can always knock him out.
You can catch me.
No, it's fine. We will continue to work on it. I'm sure he can get more than enough practice out in the field adventuring.
Just keep in mind, the more you use it, the more you're gonna be hurting. So
that's why he's got
careful
me
when you use it.
Okay.
That's what he's got me for.
Just be careful when you use it. You don't want to overstep yourself. Some of us have died that way. Get too cocky.
Understood. Well, Nibbles, I do believe we have a crew to get back to.
Yes. Before we leave, I'm going to hand Autumn the dagger and be like, it's yours. Thank you for teaching me. We'll be back.
Cool. Now I have a set. And she pulls out one that is made of stone, carved stone. So she's got a bone one and a stone one now. Just like
Bag of what?
a dagger of stone.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Thought you said a bag. I'm like, wait,
No.
what?
Yeah, she just wheels a bag of stones at people.
Yeah, no. So she now has 3 daggers, 1 metal, 1 stone, and 1 bone.
You know what you get her for Christmas? Just all different types of daggers.
Mm-hmm. So you guys can leave the Crimson Keep and head down to the docks and meet up with everybody on the ship. So it's probably 4 in the afternoon, closing in on 5 by this point. And keep in mind, it's 13 hours sailing up there.
Yep.
As soon as they get on the boat, I'm like, guys.
Yes?
Guys. I've got a mission for us. Like, an insanely awesome mission for us.
Okay.
But I don't want to tell you about it until Ren and Avani are here.
All right, that's fair. I will say this is a bit of a surprise considering your mood the night before. Did you figure out the riddle that you were puzzling?
That was yesterday. Today is today.
So you did figure out the riddle you were puzzling about?
Possibly. Yes.
Possibly.
We'll go with yes.
Okay.
It's very exciting.
I'm curious, what was this riddle?
Well, like I said, I want to explain it when Ren and Avani are here. I mean, Avani knows part of it.
I see.
But Ren doesn't.
Yes. And then, were you guys able to get a good price for the goods that we sold? Or that we brought back from the Marrows? Speaking of...
a bag of gold is handed over.
Ah. Alright, well, I'll add that to our party funds. I'll take out the one bag of holding. Did I get any of what?
Do we get any of that?
Well, if you would like, we can divvy up the remainder. It looks to be after, as long as we maintain at least 5,000 or about 6,000 gold into a ship fund, we do have 11,334 that we can divvy up amongst the party, should we want to divide up the excess. Like I said,
was just hoping for a little pocket change.
Well, I mean, we could probably, let's see, there's 6 of us, so well, we could probably give each person 500 gold in allowance, or even 1,000 gold, I suppose. It would only be 6,000 gold off of the total.
But we can still maintain the ship, right?
Yes, I have already deducted. So in total, we have 16,918 gold in the party fund. 5,584 of that has been dedicated to ship maintenance. This includes crew wages for 6 months, food for 6 months, and a minimum retainer of ship repairs.
What about dock fees? Did we have the gold for dock fees? We've been here a little bit.
No gold has been set aside for dock fees because that is not a fixed value. It tends to vary from port to port, and we will just have to maintain that out of a small dividend from the party funds, which we can maintain.
Okay. So can I hold out my hand? So can I get a little bit of that gold then?
Well, let's discuss it with the rest of the group, and we can divide up an allowance. Is there something in particular you're going for?
No. I just have found in my life that it's important that you stay liquid with your cash flow, you know? You gotta keep it coming in. I haven't really been performing a whole lot lately, except for the crew and Bren's sister. They don't exactly pay well.
I will say that before I go handing out any amount of gold, I would recommend we get it exchanged for platinum. It tends to carry better.
Plus, it's easy to.
Where did the Couch Brothers go? Outside of the game?
I don't know, you would just see behind Balaam, Nibbles just smiling. And there's like lightning going across his teeth.
It's kind of creepy.
Is there something you guys want to tell me?
He's basically Godzilla now.
Mm-hmm.
Who?
Never mind.
Should we, concerned at all about this?
No,
Balaam?
not at all. No, it's fine. He's training.
Okay. I kind of hold my harp out in front of my lyre out in front of me a little bit. So that's interesting. Good luck for you. Really, Nibbles.
Alright, I'm gonna go for a swim. And I'm just gonna jump over.
What in the crap is wrong with him?
Nothing. He's Nibbles. This is normal Nibbles.
No, but they said something about lycanthropy.
Yes.
He's a werecroc.
Yes. But again, it's just Nibbles. What I'm not seeing a problem here.
Really? No one's seeing a problem?
No.
No one sees any problem.
You seem to be making a big deal over nothing. He's a lycanthrope. It is something that we will deal with. It is something that we currently have under control and can manage until such a time as we can figure out more information. I really don't see what the issue is.
Zelda's just standing there with her mouth open a little bit.
This is there.
Really?
Is there
No
cause for
problem?
concern? Like
A little bit.
Like what? What are you worried about?
In all of the stories, like werewolves and things that suffer from lycanthropy tend to fight other things, who then start to suffer from lycanthropy.
Well,
it tends to be the villain of the story. Okay?
You're making a very distinct assumption here. You're assuming that he suffers from it. From what I can see, he's rather enjoying it.
What? I don't want to get bitten by him, and knowing him, it's a distinct possibility.
Okay, so don't get bitten by him. I'm pretty sure he has
the other day, and he was at the end of my bed.
And? Did he bite you?
What?
Did he bite you?
No.
So
He also
what
wasn't
makes...
going through a lycanthropic fit.
Right. He went through one last night and no one was bitten. The worst that happened was that there was some seagulls that got a little mussed. And maybe an upset vendor. But really, he was selling seagulls, so what do you expect?
I'm gonna go stand over there until Ren and Navani get back.
Okay,
Don't worry.
that's fine.
I'm back. I'm just wondering what I missed.
Yeah, you're back.
They're back on the stage.
Avani trying to process the fact that Nibbles is...
Yavelda?
Yavelda, yes, sorry. Yavelda's trying to process the fact that Nibbles is a werecroc.
And his teeth are electric now.
He what?
His teeth are lightning.
Ooh.
He's Godzilla.
Oh, God.
Except he can't breathe it.
Yet.
Not
yet.
He does have the Ring of Spell Storing. I'm pretty sure Dragon's Breath could be cast into it.
Yeah, which would be amazing.
And then he goes full lycanthropic gator with lightning breath.
Yep, werecroc with thunder breath. Or lightning breath.
Oh my god. Alrighty.
Where is Joe?
Eating.
Oh,
hurry up.
Huh?
Andale!
Tell him to hurry.
Bonnie knows
He's eating Cajun food. I think he kind of figured that he wasn't gonna have to worry about it anymore. I let him know.
Guys, I have a mission for us. Wait, he's leaving! Come back!
Oh,
Womp womp womp.
He's just yelling downstairs, that's all.
No, I was fine with Bonnie not being here. She already knows.
Told her he wouldn't be long. It's gonna be interesting if we ever do stream this.
all right. He's coming back.
We're never.
He said, "Hold your horses. I'm coming back."
Anyway,
Okay.
continue.
So, Ren, I've
Yes.
got a mission for us.
Oh bloody hell! What?
All right, I think we should go after the crow people. What are they called?
Right. Your first mistake was thinking.
Okay, what do you guys want?
The crows are a dangerous bunch. They'll kill us in our fucking sleep. And worse off, they'll go after our families as well.
Yeah, well, guess what? The only person I care about is with them right now, so I'm going.
Oh, what the fucking do for him? I don't rightly care. If it puts my family in danger, it's not happening.
Fine. I will draw a mustache on you. Nobody will recognize you.
Zelda, we might be more inclined to pursue this if you would just tell us why.
Okay. I have a friend. His name's Rafe. Alright? He's a good man. He's the greatest person I have ever met. Okay? The single, kindest, most heroic individual that ever lived.
Right, get to the
Okay.
point.
He's in trouble. Okay? And I have the opportunity to help him, but I don't think I can do it on my own. I'll try if I have to.
Right. So he's working with the crows?
No.
Against
Absolutely
the crows?
Yeah, it would have to be. Okay,
Right.
well, I scryed on him today, and he was in this. I described the what I saw to them.
Mm-hmm.
So he was killing one of them.
Right.
I don't know if he's stuck there. He might be trapped there. I'm not sure, but I don't know where this place is.
Does Balaam have any insight as to this location?
Roll an intelligence.
I was gonna say, did she give any details as to the surroundings? Because me being a traveler like I am, I might have seen it as well.
It looked like a cave that had been carved to be more tunnel-like, like passageway, and then it opened up into a cavern that was almost like a market with like small shops, stalls, with a decent-sized crowd.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. It sounds a lot like the little bit you've heard of Shadow Bay.
Which is the underground for Serenity Bay.
Yeah, the underground underbelly.
Of Serenity Bay,
Yeah.
Yes.
which is where we are.
Yes.
Wait a minute, he's here? He's here?
Well, yes. Did you... So, Serenity Bay, what you see of it, is one half of the entire city. There is a darker side. A lot of the cutthroats and pickpockets like to frequent. If he's there, I hate to say it, and I don't mean to spoil whatever good memories you have of this person, but if he's down there, he may not be as shining an individual as you make him out to be.
I point at Balaam. There is no greater person than Rafe. If he's down there, it's for a purpose.
Well, that may well be, but it may not always be the best person. You just killed a man, from what you've told us.
And you don't know him.
No, I don't. Which
I
is why
know
I'm at... Right. You're asking us to go on your word, to go up against a syndicate in the darkest place of Serenity Bay.
Yes?
You understand what you're asking of us, right?
Yes? It's something, I mean, I've done this before. With Rafe, in fact. Not here, but, well,
Done
it's
what?
doable. Gone up against these types, these underground folks who think they run the world. Doing horrible things to good people. Rafe, he wouldn't stand for it. He doesn't stand for it. It's exactly the type of thing he fights against.
Well, if we are going to go in there, we're going to go in there with some information. I'll reach out to some individuals that I know here in town and see what we can find out. Okay? Let's not go in blind.
Fine, but I don't think he has much time.
From the
Not
way...
after killing a member of the Talons.
Well, we're assuming that this is the first he's killed.
Hopefully we're not
May
carrying
not
another.
be.
Carrying another? What do you mean?
Oh, did you not tell them about the body that we currently have in the hold?
No, I don't care about the body.
The crates that we got, the crates and barrels we got from the marrow, one of them has a pickled Talon member in it.
Great. Was it the marrows or was it...
No, the body is full of, it's been stabbed by blades, not by harpoons or tridents.
Lovely.
He was murdered and then jammed into the barrel. Probably by the ship that they then scavenged.
Interesting. Were there any markings on the crates and barrels to indicate what ship they came from?
Nope.
Interesting.
Most ships don't mark their individual cargo unless it's like a company's ship, in which case it's the company's cargo and they'll mark it that way. But if they're just transporting for other people that don't have their own ships, nothing's really marked.
If they're just privateers.
Yeah.
Well, that is a piece of useful information. I would much prefer them... I would have preferred the man be killed by marrows, honestly. But...
Would have made it easier, but... We should probably do something about the body.
We should. I don't really have much of a good suggestion except for sticking it with normal cargo and disposing of it outside of town. What a mess.
Is there a place in town that sells like poisons and stuff like that?
An apothecary, probably.
Depends on what you're looking for.
The deadliest, dangerous, most ridiculous stuff.
Oh, you're in luck. Where you're going is probably where you'll find it.
Yeah, but something that's still on the surface. I want a place that obviously would have connections to an underground source, but does business up here.
If they were obvious, they would be shut down. You're asking for conflicting criteria here.
But you know what I'm asking for, right?
No, I don't. You were very vague in your request.
Alright, Balaam, I want to find a person who deals with these underground sources.
I just told you I was going to meet with a contact. I know someone, or at least I think I do.
I get your contact. I'd like to find one of my own.
By all means, you will have to.
Different places.
You will have to do your own investigation there. By all means, go ahead. But I will go ahead and reach out to my sources, as many as I can, and see if I can find this individual that you are looking for. And I will head off the ship.
Going head first off the ship, or just walking off the ship?
I'm walking off the ship into town.
Sorry, being obnoxious. Anyway.
And Nibbles, are you following as soon as you see?
Oh yeah, I'd fly out of the water. Mouthful of some kind of fish.
As long as it's not pufferfish, you're fine.
Pretty sure you could resist the poison of a pufferfish.
I'm just nervously chewing a nail. I was like, Avani, I have got to find him. I've got to help him. Want to go shopping with me again?
Preferably not to the same shop.
No, we're going someplace far more interesting.
That guy isn't going to want to see us.
He'll get over it.
Probably not.
And if he doesn't, I don't care.
Where are we going?
We're going to go find somebody who sells poisons.
You're just going to walk around and ask random people, poison?
No.
Poison?
Poison?
You spice?
You poison?
You know what? The first place we're going to is that I want to find the seediest, dirtiest, rankest tavern in this town.
Ren, where do you go to drink?
He's not here.
You guys, other than Balaam, who has lived here for a while, you guys only know the Eye of the Storm.
Okay, but can I ask somebody on the dock? I'm looking for the cheapest tavern in the place. Where is it?
Roll an investigation. We'll see.
Oh, these aren't good.
We'll see who you find to give you an answer.
Oh.
Not too bad. Do I have this written down already? Word, why are you messing up? All right, so you're pointed to the Demon Heart Tavern.
Sweet.
Demon Heart?
Mm-hmm.
Are you going with me, Avani?
I'll go with you to keep you alive.
Great.
I prefer you don't get
hanging out
stabbed
just
by
us
a
girls,
random
huh?
person.
It's fun hanging out just us girls.
It is nice.
When's the last time you had like a girls' time out? Did you hang out with your friends like this?
I
At
did
the
not have
library?
friends.
None?
I was busy working.
Yeah. I didn't have any friends either.
I wonder why.
Well, it can't be because I didn't have a dazzling personality because I just struggle.
I was half expecting her to do prestidigitation as she said that.
Don't have that one.
Wait, you're a bard that doesn't have prestidigitation? You're doing
No,
bard
I don't.
wrong.
You can't do bard
You
wrong.
have to write this out.
Yes, you can, and you're doing it wrong.
She's doing it atypical, just like my warlock that doesn't have Eldritch Blast.
I guess that's true.
You know what? There is no rule book that says prestidigitation has to be one of yourself. Okay. I have other stuff.
What happened to you? I literally was just looking for a notebook. Okay.
So, Ren, Balaam and Nibbles left, and then Yavelda had said that she was looking for poison, so she and Avani left looking for that.
Did she specify what the poison would be for, or just that she was looking for poison?
She wanted the deadliest poison she could find.
Yeah, that's dangerous. Right, so
Looking for information, I wasn't looking for the poison.
I am going to go spend a little bit of time with Geraldine, maybe take her to the circus so she has a little bit of fun, before meeting up with the rest to do whatever it is we're going to do.
Okay. So, while you do that, Yavelda, with your 16, you find the tavern, and so you go in. What are you just
What do
like...
I see inside?
Okay, so it is sort of run down. There's only a handful of people in there, and they look very thuggish. And they all turn and look at you guys as you walk in and watch you as you enter. They pretty much look like they distrust you immediately. And there is a brute of a man, huge, probably 300 pounds, behind the counter, behind the bar.
I go to him, bartender.
Okay. And he's just kind of glaring at you, sizing you up.
I lean over the counter a little bit and place a platinum piece on the counter. I'm looking to do a little shopping.
Do we look like a store?
No. But you look like a man who has the answers I need.
Shopping for answers? What kind of answers are you looking for?
I place another platinum piece on the counter. I'm looking for the stores that the public generally doesn't see. I put another platinum piece down.
Jesus Christ.
I'm looking for something unusual.
Unusual like what?
Like dangerous. Like something the authorities shouldn't know about. I place a fourth platinum piece on the counter.
Oh, come on.
Roll a persuasion with advantage.
Just give this dude fucking 40 gold.
Yeah.
Okay. He looks from the coins to you. What makes you think I know that sort of thing?
I think you know the sort of people who would know that. Just asking you to point in the right direction.
Do you want to get killed? Little ladies like you, you're gonna get killed in places like that.
Well, that's for me to worry about.
He looks pointedly back down at the coins. And back up at you.
I place one more platinum piece on the counter.
And he sweeps them off the counter into his pocket. Like magic trick almost. Right then, I can point you in a direction. That man over there in the corner. And you look over, and there is a man in a dark cloak in the shadowiest corner of the shadow place. And he's just sipping a mug, watching everything that goes on in the room, especially you guys. He might know something.
You said his name was Hoyt?
He didn't say a name. He just said that man over there.
Does that man have a name?
You can go ask him. And he steps back and starts cleaning.
All right, Avani, are you with me?
I'm with you.
All right. So I go up to his table.
Okay.
Mind if I take a seat?
He kind of nods. And you can now see under his cloak and in the shadows. This is a tiefling that has almost black skin, so he like blends in with the shadows, and his eyes are blood red. And he just leans forward a little bit. Can I help you?
Oh, I hope so. I'm looking to do a little shopping where the authorities aren't wise. Know a place like that?
I won't say I do, I won't say I don't. But what's it to you? Why are you looking for a place like that?
A person who's always enjoyed the shadows.
And your lyre is humming a little bit.
I ignore it.
What exactly are you looking for?
I don't have a specific item in mind. Things useful. Something that'll help me take care of a problem I have.
What sort of problem would you ladies have?
Well, that's our business now, isn't it?
I don't see any reason why I should tell you what I may or may not know.
I take out 5 platinum pieces and put them on the table in front of me and just start scooting them around with my finger.
He doesn't even look down at them.
Perhaps we can make it worth your time.
Bit of shine might not be enough, lass. You don't seem the type to be useful down there. You may have the coin, but you don't belong in a place like that.
You'd be surprised.
Roll either persuasion or intimidation, whichever way you're going with this.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, sorry,
So-
it's on advantage there.
It's fine. Still the first one. So he looks at you for a long moment. And then
I got my half-orc. I kind of take my tongue and lick one of my tusks.
and he just takes the coins off the table. I can show you.
Lead on.
I'll let you know. Breathe a word of this to anyone. It won't just be my knife in your guts. And he gets up and walks out.
Did he actually say when he was going to take us to this place? I'm asking Ivani.
He never said.
He stops at the door and looks back at you.
Come on, let's go.
That would be right now.
Yeah, I'll follow.
Yeah, let's go. So we go. We
Mhm.
follow him.
Okay, so meanwhile, Matt, you still there?
Yep.
Okay. So it's gonna take you probably a couple hours to find him.
I figured it might.
But you can definitely put the word out, and then in a couple hours, you're waiting at the eye, and it's different because you haven't seen him in years. Like the last time you saw him, you guys were kids.
Mm-hmm.
But still definitely recognizable. And he walks in, looks around for a minute, asks the bartender, and is gestured over to you. And he goes and sits down. Kind of surprised you're not dead.
Well, when you left me in Wiggins, I thought I was. Swore Marilyn would have flayed me alive.
Yeah. Never really liked that lady.
Oh, Auntie Marilyn had my best interests at heart. Look at me now. I'm an educated man. But that is not why I asked you here. I meant to ask what you've been up to lately.
Living, making ends meet. Usual sort of stuff.
Now, is that usual like when we were kids, or have you decided to move up in the world? No judgment. I'm actually very curious about that line of work at this point in time. And while we're sitting there, I'm gonna order him a drink. What are you drinking today?
Hang on. Let me take a look at my alcohol list. Can't remember half of these names. I'll take some Frosted Twilight.
Okay. No. How much per drink for that?
That one is 7 silver a cup.
Okay. I'll order 2, and I'll deduct that here, just so I've got it. I like keeping an accurate tally. All right.
So, the drinks are brought over, and when you would ask that question, he kind of smirked and said, "Not quite like when we were kids. You could
Yes.
say I've moved up in the world a little bit."
So, still in the same line or same career path, or have you gone straight?
I'm as crooked as they come.
Ah, good. I was hoping you would say that, actually, because I'm in need of some information. You know me, always poking around where I don't belong.
Yeah.
So, I've heard rumor that a couple of talons have been taken out recently. You wouldn't happen to know anything about that, would you?
And where did you hear that kind of talk?
Now, if I gave you all my sources, that would ruin the mystery.
And yet you want my sources.
Well, we can do a trade, but I'm going to have to get information from you first.
I've heard a Talon was killed. Another one hasn't been seen in a few days. Close to a
I
week,
see.
I think.
Well, the last I heard, the one who hasn't been seen was headed out to sea. I heard that from a group of Marrow that we encountered about a half a day's north of here.
Well, that's not right. He wasn't supposed to get on the boat.
Well, I don't think he had much of a choice in the matter.
The Marrow came to the bay?
Well, no, we paid them a visit.
What kind of work are you doing nowadays?
Well, you know, the typical adventure thing. I met up with a crew. We kind of sail around and fight monsters and make a decent amount of coin on the way. And I'm going to flip him a platinum piece.
Oh, God.
He catches it deftly and, like, not even looking at it, pockets it. So doing pretty well. Good to know. Okay. Well, the one that was missing was supposed to be overseeing some transaction down at the docks and wasn't seen afterwards. And the Crowsmen are in a fit right now.
I imagine so. Losing one of your number and not knowing how or why can be a bit upsetting. So, mostly, I'm trying to find a way to the Shadow Bay, and I'm hoping to go down there either with a guide or with enough information that I'm not going to get shanked the first after my first 10 steps within.
Do you wear your holy symbol out in full view all the time?
No, it's usually tucked into
Okay.
my armor. The shield that I carry, actually no, the shield doesn't have the holy symbol on it anymore because I swapped it out.
So he kind of looks you up and down. I don't know if I can give you enough information to keep you from getting killed down there.
And I'm going to use thaumaturgy and make my eyes turn black. The not getting killed part I can handle. It's not making a false step.
Okay, I still think it'd be better with a guide, and for the right price, sure, for old time's sake, why not?
So what's your price?
100 gold.
Even for an old friend?
That's the discounted rate.
You're killing me, Smalls. All right, and I'll toss him 10 platinum.
Okay. And he takes it and pockets it.
Now I want you to understand something, Gavin. I still remember what you did to me last time we worked together, and I want you to understand that this time around, if you betrayed me, I won't go down alone.
What do you mean? Think you can take me down too?
And I'm gonna pull out the pendant of the Raven Queen, and I'm just gonna again flare my eyes. This time a stark white. I know I can take you down, Gavin, but I don't want to. I still consider us friends, and I have forgiven you for that. I'm just letting you know that I do have a long memory.
He noticeably fidgets a little bit and his face falls when he sees that symbol. Should have charged him more. Didn't know you went white knight on me.
Oh, believe me, there is no white left in this heart. And I will stand up, order a second round of drinks for him. Meet me at the docks tomorrow morning. I will have my party gathered then.
Okay. How many am I escorting down exactly? I thought it would just be you.
You'll find out when you get there, and I'm gonna walk out.
Yeah, follow him.
Fine. You hear him muttering to himself as you leave. Okay. So, anyone else before we go back to Yvelda and Avani? Ren, you doing anything? Okay. So, Yvelda and Avani.
Let's go die.
So much.
Our tragic end, yes.
So, he leads you to, like, this wasn't the good side of town to begin with, but down some alleys and stuff to even seedier looking neighborhood. And just what seems to be a random door, and he knocks in a particular rhythm, and the door opens slightly. And
Do you remember the rhythm? I'm really good with rhythm.
Would I remember the rhythm? I'm really good with rhythm.
Just, okay, roll D20s.
D20s?
Just
Yeah.
straight D20s?
Yeah, straight D20.
Ew.
Okay. So you rolled it. You think you remember it, Ivani. You were too worried about somebody jumping out of the shadows at you.
Yeah. I am looking around a lot.
Yeah.
Zuko's
So
not with us, is he?
No, he's still back at the house.
Okay. 2 women and a child. That would have just been hysterical.
Two lesbians and their little gnome child.
Anyway, so he mutters something in Infernal. Do either of you know Infernal?
No. I
Hold on,
don't.
let me check.
I know 2 languages.
No?
No.
Okay. So he mutters something Infernal. You guys don't know what it is. And then you guys are ushered in to this dingy, pretty much empty room. There's a few guys in here, big, burly, and they all have clubs with nails in them. And they all watching you intently as you walk in, across the room, through another doorway, and then there's a set of stairs down. Anyway.
Sorry.
So
I keep my hand on my sword at all times.
Yep.
And one on my purse. One on my sword, one on my purse. All that.
So you guys go down what seems like a couple stories. And then it, opens up into a hall. And the tiefling looks back at you. Mind your P's and Q's in here, if you don't mind.
Of course.
And so he ushers you down this hallway. And there's a few tunnels that lead off, and he keeps going. And then it opens up into the familiar market-looking place. And he just kind of leans on the wall just inside and gestures inside. Welcome to Shadow Bay. Your coin's good here. Just make sure you leave alive. And he just kind of chuckles and walks back down the hallway.
I'm guessing that's our exit as well.
He over his shoulder is like, as far as you know.
No.
I was really saying that to Avani, but if he answers, that's fine. All right, Avani.
Well, we found the
we were
place.
yes, we found it. I know I said we were going to go back, but I mean, since we're here already.
Do you really want to keep pushing our luck?
He's here, Avani. He's here. He's right in front of me.
Just
somewhere.
be careful.
Ugh.
Let's go.
Will you stay or will you go?
I will help you.
Should I stay or should I go?
Should I go?
I'm not going to leave you to die down here.
Okay, so what are you guys doing?
I don't know. I'm kind of shuffling from foot to foot.
Do you?
Well, we have to. We need to wait for just a second. If we go back up, we need to wait for that guy to have skedaddled, so it doesn't look weird.
We can at least look around for a little bit. Maybe we'll spot your friend. Just stay close.
Okay, let's go.
Especially since you have to be the one who finds him, because I have no idea what he looks like.
True. You'd know him when you saw him. He's amazing.
He's amazing.
He is. He's incredible. Alright, let's go.
Lead the way.
Okay.
Alright. We're going in.
So, you guys step into Shadow Bay. Into the crowd. Now, not all of these people look seedy. Some of them look like they could be respectable. Okay, there we go. So, looking around, these little mini shops and booths, they're kind of carved into the walls, like little cubbies. It's very flea market-ish here. And they've got tables built up, and you can see some people are offering to make forgeries of paperwork and stuff. Other people are selling jewelry and weapons. And there's, like, thugs at almost every booth, just to make sure nobody tries anything. And you see a few people. They don't have the talon tattoo across their hand, but you do see feathers up their arm. Some only have
tattoos
one.
Or actual
feathers? Tattoos.
Okay.
Some only have one. Others have like 6 or 7. And it's almost like the design of it is that they're growing the feathers. It's like that kind of look to it.
How many people did we see with the talon things on?
You don't see any right now with the talon marks, but you see the feathers, which you assume is other members of the Crows group.
Okay, I want to pull Avani aside real quick.
Mm-hmm.
Just out of the way. Go, Avani. You have that alter self thing, right?
Yes.
Give yourself one of those feather tattoos.
I do not think that is a good idea.
Why?
Because your friend is killing members of the Talon. I'd prefer not to get stabbed in the back by him.
Yeah, but this isn't the talon thing. This is a feather thing.
Isn't the feather thing the Talon symbol?
The Talons, they're the enforcers. They have what looks to be a talon up their hand. They also have feathers up their arm, but these are people that just have the feathers. And it's one or two, not like an arm.
I still think that might be a little dangerous.
Okay. I do want to walk around, and I don't want to be stealthy. I want to be seen.
Okay. You get some casual looks, but not too many because this is a very motley group. Like there's a lot of definite thugs and thieves and shady people, but then there's some that blend in up above ground better. There's a few that even look like they could be nobles or wealthy merchants wandering around. Are you looking for the cloak?
Yeah, I'm looking for the cloak. I'm looking for his face. I am not intently searching people's faces, but casually glancing around to see if I see him anywhere.
Okay. Roll a perception.
Ooh.
This is going to be a hard one because it is a crowd.
Yeah, and
But I don't know what he looks like, so I can't.
Oh!
No, it's too many people. You're looking, you don't see anything recognizable.
I can't ask for him. If he's killing talons, then they're not going to like somebody asking about him. Unless I pretend that I want to kill him. What do you think?
That could work, but that could also make us a target. We don't know who he's working for.
Okay. All right. We've looked around. Why don't we go back? Let's buy one thing, and then we'll go back to the others.
Well, you said you were looking for poison, so...
If we leave empty-handed, we look weird.
You said you were looking for poison, so let's go buy some poison.
I don't necessarily want poison. Anything. We'll just buy anything. Whatever. It doesn't matter. Let's see if we can find something interesting, though. Okay. Any of these shops have anything interesting?
What would you find interesting?
Anything. I just want to walk out with something in my hand.
Are you looking for, like, wondrous item or jewelry or weapon or a forged document? What kind of shady thing are you looking at?
Jewelry.
Okay, so there is a couple places that have some bits of jewelry, obviously stolen because, I mean, come on.
Lay down.
Let me see.
My Merlin has a sore on his nose, and I have no idea where he got it.
Okay. So, so you go glancing around at some of these booths, kind of window shopping. You see one booth that's got a tray of about 4 rings on it.
Can I cast Detect Magic and see if any of them are magical?
Sure. They're all magic.
Oh, they all are. Okay. Never mind.
Yeah. I mean, you cast it, and there's a lot of the items for sale are magic. Others are, like, close forgeries of magic, or, like, there's other booths that have, like, forged signet rings or stolen signet rings.
Let's go for the legitimately magic ones.
Okay. So
What do we got here?
there is one. If you're looking, then the shopkeeper points out that there is a ring of water walking, ring of evasion, ring of free action, and ring of protection.
What does the ring of evasion do? Just makes you harder to hit?
Mm-hmm. Has 3 charges, and it regains 1d3 expended charges daily at dawn. When you fail a dex save while wearing it, you can use your reaction to expend 1 charge and succeed on that saving throw instead.
Ooh, I like that. How much is that one?
That one, I can sell it to you for 3,000.
Hmm.
This sort of thing goes for more up top.
Oh, well, obviously. I mean, it's a good price. What about the ring of protection?
That one, I can sell you for 1,700.
1,700. Well, that's a little more in my price range tonight. Although, what about this ring of water walking? How much is that?
That one, very useful around the sea. That one is going to be 1,600.
1,600. Yeah, but I got a friend who can make me breathe underwater, so.
Well, but then you got to swim. This way you can just walk right across like it's ground.
True. With this mariner's armor, I got a swim speed. So. You know what?
I forgot you were wearing Mariner's armor.
Yeah. You know what? You know what I need, Avani? I need a signet ring. I'm coming up in the world. I need to use it for my correspondence. I want to buy a signet ring.
Okay, so you go over to another booth.
Well, while she's doing that, can I buy that ring of protection?
Yeah.
Go for it.
Go for it.
You said it was 1,700?
1,700.
Okay. Just between just over 1,000.
So, you can go over, and there's a few that they've labeled with family names, and then there's a few that are to the side, and the shopkeeper explains that those are made-up signet rings. They're not actual noble crests, but you can make up whatever name you want to go with them. They look official, they just aren't anything anyone's gonna recognize. Or they're like just a little bit different than a recognizable one.
Okay. I'll pick one. Just
Yeah.
at random. I'll pick one.
Okay, so it's 1,000 gold for a signet ring.
Really?
These are things that can get you into the high-end places. These are things that you can use to con royalty with. Yes, it's expensive.
They don't have like the souvenir shop version of a signet ring.
They don't sell Cracker Jack stuff here.
Obviously.
This is work-related expenses. This is people that are running cons and stuff.
YOLO. I'll buy a signet ring.
Okay.
For 1,000 at random.
Okay.
That's 100 platinum I'm giving this person.
It's a kind of generic-looking sword against a shield motif.
Okay. Does it have a name on it, or?
No. This is one of those can pass for actual ones. Not a official one. You just grabbed one at random, so.
Yeah, neither of us look like soccer moms.
I'm a half freaking orc. I don't look like a soccer mom. Although I am wearing a beautifully vibrant red cloak at the moment.
They still don't they still aren't attracting too much attention because there's ones that look like they could be nobility down here. So,
And you know what? You can talk all the shit you want about pumpkin spice. Pumpkin spice is fucking delicious.
ew.
Oh,
Anyway, moving on.
All right, yeah. So I think it's time to go now. Avani, let's get out of here.
It's a good idea.
So, you guys return the way you came. Go up, and as you get up the top of the stairs, the essentially bouncers in that empty room kind of nod as you leave.
Kind of nod back.
And you guys are now out back in the fresh air. It's probably 6, 7 o'clock by now.
We should go back to the ship and let them know what we found.
Ugh. Couldn't find him.
The thing is he
Down
may
there,
even
somewhere.
be down there.
Well, I can't go back and scry on him again, so
No, you cannot.
I mean, I might be able to.
You burned that bridge. You're gonna alter yourself and then trick him into doing it again?
Possibility. Okay. Anyway, yeah, let's go back to the ship.
Okay. Are you guys all meeting at the ship? Or are you guys all meeting at the house or the Eye of the Storm?
I'm going back to the ship because that's the last place I saw people.
Okay. So where is everybody currently?
I headed back to the ship.
Okay. Ship. Everybody's at the ship. Okay.
I would have went and got Suko, and then went back to the ship.
Oh, Rin was hanging out with Seraldine. So, would you go back to the ship, or wait for everyone to come back?
I would still go get Suko, and then if I see
I
Ren
would-
there, I'm saying we're going to the ship.
Ren?
I was waiting for Nick to finish. I would drop Geraldine back off at the house, grab Suko, head to the ship.
Okay. So you guys all get to the ship. You guys can share your stories.
So, I spoke with an old friend of mine
Mm-hmm.
that is willing to take us into Shadow Bay and guide us around.
We were already there.
Yeah, we've been there.
Yes.
I really don't see what the big deal was. There was nothing to it. They kept saying we were gonna die. You know what? They didn't care.
Right.
But we
Anyway.
didn't find him. So I have to go back.
Tomorrow morning, my contact will be meeting us here at the ship, and we will make another attempt.
This time with all of us together.
Out of curiosity, is there an item that he carries on him that you are particularly familiar with? Something that you know he would always have with him?
The sword.
And he's
Right.
guaranteed to have it with him at all times.
No, he's not guaranteed to have it with him because the last time I saw him, look, I don't know if he still has it or not.
Well, there's the dagger we saw him using. You saw him using in your scrying.
True, that's true. There was a dagger that he was using. Was it a dagger? No, it was his sword. It was a sword, wasn't it?
If you say
Oh,
so.
and in the
A
vision,
sword or a dagger? Yeah, it was a sword.
it
Wasn't
looked like a different sword. It was a sword, but it was a different one.
Well, I saw
Huh?
a sword in the vision.
Was it unique?
Did it? Was it?
Didn't look like a normal longsword.
Was it similar to the one he always carried?
Similar in style.
It was similar. Okay.
I'm just gonna throw this out here on the mechanics side of things. I have the ability to cast locate object into the ring of spell storing. I can give you 2 shots at it. It can allow you to track that a specific object within 1,000 feet of you. So once we get into the Shadow Bay,
Mm-hmm.
odds are
Yeah,
pretty
but-
good that you'll be able to track him down.
Yep, that would work.
I have the thing he always used to carry around with him. I don't know that he has anything else that was that special or meaningful.
You only have to have seen the object within 30 feet. Since scrying allows you to see directly from the person, you would be able to see that sword, and we'd be able to specifically find that sword.
Okay. Alright, yeah, that'll work.
That would work. If he still has it, but yeah.
Yes.
He wouldn't
That's
throw it
what we're
away.
banking
There's not exactly common sword.
So, at that point, Nibbles, I'm sorry to ask for the ring again.
Nope.
I know you really like it. Disc is fun, but I think
Please, Nibbles. Please.
Fine.
Thank you, and I will
Thank you.
spend my two of my 3 level 2 spell slots to throw in 2 locate objects.
Okay.
And I can throw in a level 1 spell just for funsies. So we are going to throw in Sanctuary, just in case.
Okay.
So just so you guys know what spells and what their parameters are.
If we're gonna go looking for Rafe tomorrow, hopefully we find him. I think I should let you guys know that he may not be all that thrilled to see me. He might try and kill me, just so that you guys are aware.
Business as usual. Okay. Is this how you treat everyone? Like, seems
Look,
to be.
It's not. Rafe's an amazing person, and I guess he has every right to try and kill me if he wants to.
What did you do?
It's fine. Well.
Look, if we're gonna risk our necks in this den of villainy, den of scum and villainy,
Sorry,
then I think it's about time that you come clean with us here.
Okay, alright. Fine. Look, I met Rafe when he was going back to his hometown because, this crime family had taken over in his town. So he was fighting against them and started fighting together against them. And when we went to assault their headquarters, he went in and I ran. So, yeah, basically. That's the short version, okay?
Gotcha.
Look, he's a good person, and I hesitated, alright? I hesitated. And because of that, I thought he had died. There were so many of them in there. I didn't think it was possible he would come back out after the alarms went off.
Well, it's possible that the man that you knew didn't come out.
You mean?
That something within him has fundamentally changed from the person that you knew.
I don't think that's possible.
You need to be prepared for that eventuality, because if it does come to pass, the man you thought you knew may not be the man that you find.
Look, if there was anything that was important to Rafe, it was honor. Okay? His honor was everything to him.
Yes, and
he would never do anything corrupt.
Like stabbing a man in the back in cold blood in an alley in a shadowy place.
Because these talons are bastions of virtue?
If he is a bastion of virtue,
they don't deserve to die?
If he is as honorable as you say, stabbing a man in the back in cold blood.
Well, it wasn't in the back. It was in the front. But Look, there's honor and then there's battle. Okay?
That was not battle.
You're at
That was an
war. When you're
assassination.
at war, you do what you have to do. We knew it. We ambushed lots of people who were part of this family. People who had killed innocents.
Uh-huh.
You do what you have to do.
And look how you turned away when I turned on the marrow.
That wasn't justice.
Are you sure? Do you know how many men, women, and children those marrow have slaughtered?
No, I don't. Probably a lot. But there's a difference between meting out justice and torturing somebody. And keeping it going. You healed him and then tortured him some more.
I did. And I got the information that we need.
Yeah, I don't have the stomach for that.
Obviously, considering you ran away.
But when Rafe killed this guy, it was quick. Probably not painless, but it was quick. He's an amazing swordsman. He really is just fabulous when he fights.
Alright, enough with how fabulous this motherfucker is. You obviously not got the stomach to do the necessary things as we did with the marrow.
Can we deal with this in the morning when we actually find the man?
I think that would be best.
Be prepared to be disappointed. That's all
And
I'm
should we-
going to.
Never.
And should
He's
we
alive,
maybe
that's
lock
all.
Nibbles in somewhere, just in case?
No, he's good for the evening. He's
What?
taking his medicine.
He's safe. Right, so let's call it tonight. You get ready in the morning to go on a little journey looking for Evelyn's friend.
Yes,
That's
you will, this amazing friend.
Yes, the also amazing swordsman who probably doesn't want to be found and will probably kill us on sight.
Yeah, well, we'll just have to see.
He attacks, we attack back. There is no staying out.
No. If he attacks me, that's between me and him.
Not for very long.
You're one of us. He attacks you, we take him down.
Yeah, and if you hurt him, I'll hurt you. You
You
understand?
don't really scare me, woman.
Whether I scare you or not is not going to make a difference when I stab you.
You're about to
This is
sting
a short.
a fucking mouse.
And on that note, I will be in my room.
I'm just going to sit on the deck playing my harp, blissfully happy.
And you guys are sleeping on the ship, right?
I'm going back to the house to go to bed.
I'm waiting for this guy to show up so we can go.
It's going to be in the morning. Are you staying up all night?
I'll probably fall asleep at some point, but I'm too keyed up to sleep.
Okay, so you're just going to crash on the deck. Got it.
Yeah.
Everyone else is staying on the ship, right?
I'm going to my house, or to the house.
So, Ren, I know you wake up before the crack of dawn, so as the sky starts to lighten, you wake up and you head back down to the docks.
Well, I'm gonna leave a letter for my mother, letting her know going off on a journey. Tell Geraldine I'll contact her as soon as I can, and head to the ship.
I'm gonna give Suko a letter. Tell him not to open it.
Okay. So
He knows when he should open it.
So he looks at it for a minute, is like, okay. And he puts it in his bag. And as the sun starts to rise, you guys all get ready, wait on the dock for Gavin to show up. And that is where we're going to leave it off.
Okay.
I hope you enjoyed this one. I was really looking forward to you guys finding these threads.